left at the Odyssey Palace Studios in San Diego. That is me, Hollywood Chris Ello, here appearing at the Peoria Sports Complex.
He's got his shades on. That's why.
I had to throw the glasses on today, just for proof, Skraby, that I am outside. I am on the patio here behind the cafeteria, the famed cafeteria at the Padres spring training complex in Peoria, Arizona. I did make it today, and I'm here, and I'm waiting for you to arrive tomorrow, and we're going to have a couple of big shows here on Thursday and Friday with myself, you, and Tony Gwynn Jr. But today, I'm pretty much the only one in sight. I want to thank Darren Feeney, though, from the Padres PR office, because the only thing I was worried about, Skraby, was that I was going to get here and there wasn't going to be anywhere to plug the gear in. And he said, no, we're going to leave you an extension cord. And, I was like, okay, but you never know, right?
I trust Darren, though. I
do too, right? The extension cord was there. They even had a power strip. You had me bring a power strip because you were thinking along the lines of what an engineer.
Always have to have a power strip.
Always have one. I didn't need one because they provided one for me. And, look, everybody, I'm not sitting here waiting. I'm not going to break my, shoulder with the pat on the back. But, man, you guys should have seen how smooth I was setting this gear up today. Incredible, Skraby. And I'm starting to think now, yesterday we celebrated the 70th birthday of our all-time favorite guy, J.R. Rogers.
Yes.
Who's long-time, on-air personality, but has become kind of the engineer for us at Odyssey the last several years. I keep this up, Skraby. I might have a future as an engineer. Working on the side. Yeah, even you thought that was a little ridiculous.
I mean, let me see you troubleshoot, and let's go from there.
You're right. Troubleshooting is not my forte. If the stuff doesn't work on the first try, I'm immediately on the phone. Baby,
I don't even want to be an engineer because there's too much pressure on an engineer because we only need engineers or, to talk with engineers when we absolutely need them because something's broken.
Exactly. But anyway, we're all set. We're here in Peoria. It is, as Tony Gwynn told us yesterday, it is hotter than you can imagine. It's got to be at least 102 degrees. I'm in the shade, which is maybe I'm not as bright in your on screen there on YouTube, but I mean, I'm not going to sit in the sun. Sorry, that's just not going to happen.
No, I mean,
it's way too hot for that. So, and I want to just give a quick shout out. I know she's already gone off shopping now and tearing up all of Peoria, but my wife did most of the driving this morning.
Wow.
And that doesn't usually happen, but she was kind of, she just got fired up and said, give me the keys. And so I give my wife a lot of credit. We got up early and drove out here, and I know you'll be making the drive later tonight, Scrape.
Yeah, is there anything I should watch out for on the way out there?
Well, go to our McDonald's there in Yuma. I left you a message at the front.
Oh, did you?
At the counter.
Chris and I were talking about this yesterday, and I go, I think I stopped at that McDonald's in Yuma for bathroom and a snack. And Chris goes, I do too. This morning, got a picture from the McDonald's in Yuma.
Yep, I stopped there. We also stopped in, Gila Bend.
Oh, yes.
For a little gas. And by the way, for those of you who think gas is ridiculously expensive now in San Diego.
What is it in Arizona?
Almost as much. It wasn't that much. Yeah, it was like $4.80, $5. I didn't see anything cheaper than that. So,
wow.
That's the world in which we live in right now. But anyway, we are excited to be here talking with you. We got a huge match later tonight. I know the Padres are off, but you got San Diego FC trying to advance in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They got to go to Toluca. They got to go to 8,700 and some odd feet up there. And just make sure they don't lose. A tie will allow them to advance, but man, how tough is it going to be under those some conditions to try to even just get a tie? So we will talk about that. Our MLS weekly visit with Jake Zivin a little bit later in the program. But Skraby, we have put it off long enough. In a world now where the United States dominates the sport of hockey, of all things.
Yes.
It is now the country of Venezuela that can say they are the masters of baseball.
And you know what, Chris?
You're giving them a round of applause.
I am. And I'll tell you why once you get into it.
Yeah, I watched it last night, as I'm sure a lot of other people did. Yeah, Venezuela's they have all of the, they're the kings of baseball. Next thing I expect, Antarctica is going to win the World Cup in soccer. I mean, what is going on? Yeah, what is going on? I mean, we're not supposed to be the hockey champs, but we are. And Venezuela is certainly not supposed to be the baseball champs, but they are. And I got to say, it's hard to hit with your two hands around your neck. I think the U.S. choked. I do. These guys were squeezing the sawdust out of the bat. They had one base runner in 5 innings against Eduardo Rodriguez. Aaron Judge was, how many times he strike out last night?
I think it was 3. Yeah.
I mean, they got nothing from anyone anywhere in the lineup. I don't know what they got. 3 hits in the end, something like that. They go meekly in the bottom of the 9th inning on 2 strikeouts and a pop-up. They just brought nothing on offense.
To be fair, I think Daniel Palencia was just running on pure adrenaline and was throwing 100.
There's no question.
There's no question.
But you shouldn't be down 3-2. I mean, your pitching holds them to 3 runs. You need to win that game. But look, the day before they only beat the Dominican 2-1. I mean, the United States could not hit in this tournament. And I mean, you know what they were last night with runners in scoring position?
Let me look. I see it.
They were 0 for 0. They didn't have any at bats with runners in scoring position the entire game. This is not the Padres Saturday fill-in lineup, right?
No.
This is Hall of Fame player after Hall of Fame player. And I know that some people are going to say, well, it just goes to show it's the nature of baseball and that you can be shut down. Yeah, but you shouldn't be. You just shouldn't be under these circumstances. I mean, everything is on the line here. You got to be ready. You got to come through. This is why you're on the team. I mean, there's a lot of great players who were not picked for this opportunity. And the ones who got picked, they choked it. They did nothing. Bryce Harper's home run took your breath away. I mean, I got to say that. But the rest of the tournament, Bryce Harper didn't do anything. Look, to me, it's very disappointing. I'm not going to, give up on the sport of baseball, but shouldn't have happened like that.
Let's also, yes, I agree. This team is way too good to lose, but let's also give Venezuela this. They have a really good lineup of major league players, and it's like an all-star lineup of major league players. So it's not like the U.S. was like, we're so much better than the other team. But Venezuela just wanted that game so much more. I did not see the players in that Team USA dugout looking anything like Venezuelan players, which I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. You keep telling me, Aaron Judge, this is better than the World Series, but then they pan to you in the dugout and you look like you've been staring at the sky. I don't know.
You look like somebody stole his cat or something. You say that Venezuela had a good lineup. I agree with you. So to me, if Venezuela wins that game 8-6 last night because Acuna goes, gets a couple of home run, or Churio
Suarez,
or one of these other guys, but they didn't win 8-6. They scratched out 3 runs themselves, barely got that. So, to me, the pitching was good enough by the United States to win, and these hitters got to own this now. They let us down big time in that championship round, and it wasn't just last night. It was the game before against Dominican Republic where they got 2 solo homers and they did nothing else. One more thing, though, before we let Mark DeRosa go without being mentioned.
Okay.
Unless you can explain or tell me something that I did not see, why in the 9th inning of a tie game with the entire world championship on the line would you pass over Mason Miller for Garrett Whitlock?
I think I have an answer.
Don't
actually
get it.
I think I have an answer.
Did he give an answer? Somebody had to ask him about it? I never heard it.
Quite honestly, I did not see if he gave an answer, but I have a feeling if something like they can only use Mason Miller, like kind of like Palencia. Palencia had the okay from his team to pitch if he was closing a game in the bottom of the 9th ahead. That's his situation. So they weren't able to use him unless that situation happened.
That's a bunch of that's a crock. There's no way that was the situation.
See, they're all telling me, and I should have looked this up before the show. I feel like an idiot.
I'm just saying
they're saying that he said the Padres said they can only use him in a safe situation. I definitely think that I agree with that. It wasn't a safe situation.
It wasn't a safe situation, but I'm telling you that has to be a crock because top of the ninth inning, he was only going to go one inning, and you needed that inning to get to the bottom of the ninth. When you're the home team, you don't have a safe situation in a tie game. So I just don't believe that the Padres put that kind of kibosh on it and said, you know what, unless he's saving the game. Well, if he would have pitched the top of the ninth inning, he would have been saving the game in that regard. They gave the go-ahead to pitch an inning. I got to use him for an inning. I absolutely have to use him for an inning.
I don't believe it qualified for their rules. Every team had rules. Every team had rules. I know what you're saying.
I know, but it's ridiculous. Why would you let him pitch an inning with a 1-run lead, but you won't let him pitch an inning in a tie game? It's an inning. They gave the go-ahead for an inning. I just don't buy it. And they went with Whitlock, and they paid the price while the best reliever in baseball sat there and watched us lose the World Baseball Classic for whatever reason. And if the Padres were that adamant and said, "Hey, don't do it," then I
think they are.
Okay, well, I just don't buy it. What can I tell you? I don't buy that. You give him the okay to pitch an inning, let the guy pitch an inning, especially with the game on the line.
All right, let me ask you this.
If you wanted to say he can't close the game, he's got to close the game. Right. If it's 8-2, we're not bringing him in just for the hell of it. But this was the entire thing being decided in the ninth inning. He needed to be on the mound.
Here's the thing.
And so the Padres are going to have to clarify this.
I don't have any issue with this because I don't want to be sitting here today talking about how Mason Miller did something and injured himself, and now we don't have a closer this year. I think that everybody had very specific situations. Like I said, Palencia was not allowed to go in the game unless they were up. It was a safe situation, and it was the bottom of the ninth. And they qualified for all three of those things, so he went in. I don't see a problem with this, especially where the problem is where the tournament is located, and it's in spring training. So I don't know how you're going to change that, but I don't want any of these guys to get injured. And for the most part, they got through the World Baseball Classic without injury. All the teams. If that's what the World Baseball Classic is about, just a bunch of guys competing not to get injured, then it's a waste of my time. And I can agree with that. I can't.
So don't waste my time again. If you give the go-ahead for Mason Miller to pitch an inning, to me, you want him to pitch an inning only under duress, either with in that situation, that would have been the inning to use him. So I want to get it clarified. We'll see what the Padres said. Did they say absolutely only with a lead, not in a tie game, or did they just say, something different? Because I think we're all guessing what I think we're doing.
What we heard yesterday from Craig Stammen, and we don't have anything more because obviously the Padres are off today, but from Craig Stammen, they talked to Mason Miller, and they gave the situation that they were okay with him pitching in. And
that's all I saw. Right. He's okay. He can pitch. I didn't see anything further. Everyone else is making up this notion that it had to be a save situation. I didn't see that anywhere.
I'll give you his quote. Mark DeRosa's quote last night. Quote, honoring the Padres. Had we taken the lead, he was coming in, but I wasn't going to bring him into a tie game.
Yeah. Well, Mark DeRosa's stupid, and he proved it ahead of time, but I just don't agree with that.
Tyler says, what are they going to do if he brought Miller in anyways? Like, we need him, we're putting him in.
Yeah. All right.
There was a lot of talk in this tournament, mostly because about the whole managing expectations for other teams or managing playing time, managing pitching for other teams, because all of those guys who didn't get the insurance on their contracts weren't allowed to play. So it's ultimately, in the end, unless an insurance company is just going to insure everyone, then I don't see this changing.
Do you understand my point at all, though? Once the game was 2-2 going into the ninth inning, under Mark DeRosa's way of thinking, Mason Miller was not available then the rest of the night because they were never going to be in a save situation. That just makes no sense. You were more than willing to pitch him an inning. The Padres were willing to let you pitch him an inning. He wasn't going to have a lead.
I see that.
We've gone over this in the past. I remember Trevor Hoffman used to come in the top of the ninth inning, and people go, "Why are you bringing him in the ninth inning of a tie game?" Because there's not going to be a save opportunity. So this is where I'm coming from on it. I want some clarity. I'm sure the likes of Sam Lev and AJ Cassavell will be on it tomorrow. And if they're not on it, I'll get on it, Scraby. We'll find.
Will you? Are you going to go scream
really.
at Craig Stammen?
No, I'm not going to scream at anybody. I want to find out honestly, was Mark DeRosa under the threat of, death to bring Mason Miller in a tie game?
I think you have to respect it, though. If you agree to a certain set of terms, you have to respect those terms. Maybe Mark DeRosa tells an assistant coach, "Hey, go call AJ Preller right now because we need to use Mason Miller."
No. What you do if you're Mark DeRosa and your Team USA and the Padres say, "We are going to give you Mason Miller for an inning. We'd like it to be in a save situation only." And you say, "Okay, can I use him in the top of the ninth of a tie game?" You need to foresee the fact that situation could come up.
I agree. That should have been presented like, "Hey, can we do this? Can we do that?" Multiple different scenarios need to be talked about, not just if you're leading in the ninth, you could use him and it's a safe situation type of thing.
Not only that, I just want to blame Mark DeRosa for losing this thing anyway, no matter what.
I don't know why all of a sudden you're so out on the guy. I do think
all of a sudden.
I do think his gaffe in the beginning of the tournament by saying that they were in the next round, that was dumb, and that was really avoidable.
And him lying about it.
Correct.
For the rest of time.
I wasn't a fan of him saying I misspoke, because you didn't misspeak. You said what you said.
He didn't misspoke.
He said what he said.
All right. Well, I said what I said, and I'm sticking to it. Gwynn and Chris is underway. Happy Wednesday, everybody, from Peoria, from San Diego. We'll keep things rolling on 97.3 The Fan. All right, regardless of what the U.S. baseball team decided strategy-wise, you never look good when your offense does not score for 18 of the last 19 innings of that tournament. And ultimately, that's what's going to be remembered as Venezuela takes the crown last night. Welcome back to Gwynn and Crisello in Peoria, where the Padres have the day off. Tony Gwynn Jr.'s actually in San Diego visiting his family on the Padres' day off. And Skraby is where he's supposed to be. He's at the Odyssey Studios.
The Bill House Studios, where we know how.
Yes, you are. You are there. You'll be on your way to Peoria after the show today. All three of us will convene here tomorrow for back-to-back shows from Peoria. Well, you will hear from a bunch of Padre players. And, we're looking forward to that. So that is coming up. I wanted to say one other thing about, Venezuela winning this thing. And I don't know. Do you think it's going to be part of the story as time goes on? And how much did what's happening in the world of politics have to do with Venezuela's urgency to win that championship? I think it had a lot to do with it.
I do too.
So, I'm not going to get into what happened, what's going to happen. That's for other politic talkers to decide. But you can't convince me that Venezuela didn't have a little extra motivation to knock off the United States.
Yeah, I definitely think they did.
I think that had to be part of the story, and I think it will be remembered as part of the story, very similarly to the way in 1980. And I don't know that this is a 1980 hockey upset, but it's an upset. And, back in I'm trying to compare it to something like that. In 1980, the hockey, look, there was a lot of unrest in the world at that time. And that was part of what made the United States winning that such a big deal.
Yeah.
People look at it now and go, well, that was a great, incredible athletic achievement. But if you weren't there in 1980, you didn't get the full effect of what those kids did under the circumstances in which they did them.
Yeah, so the tensions are much different in the 80s.
Absolutely. So anyway, congrats.
Let me ask you
Venezuela.
one more thing about this before we move on.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you in the place where Tarek Skubal said, hey, I'll join the team and pitch once for 55 pitches and then I'm going home? Do you think that, I mean, are we taking it, is this like a fun thing for Team USA or is this a serious thing? Because if you're going to say this is a serious thing, then you can't have guys who are only going to make one start on your team.
That's a fair comment. And you don't make very many fair comments.
That wasn't,
that's not a strength.
His point is really good.
That was good. That was good, Skraby. No, I agree. And honestly, whether it's Mark DeRosa or whoever chose that team, I got to ask Tarek Skubal, we want you. You're the Cy Young winner. We need, blah. But you're going to have to pitch a game or two. You can't just give me 50 pitches and then pack up and go home.
Yeah.
I get somebody else who can pitch.
And also having Clayton Kershaw on the roster was like, you're taking up a roster spot with Clayton Kershaw?
It was kind of a fun little thing, but they could have used everybody. I mean, you could have, I don't know, give me a, huge closer that's from the United States that wasn't on this roster. Sure, there's a few of them out there.
Yes, I'm trying to think. Of course, every closer in baseball just vanished from my head.
Well, every closer that I'm thinking of is not from
American?
The United States. Yeah, Duran and Diaz and all these
Suarez
guys. But,
and Iglesias.
Right. So, but you could have found somebody and taken up a Kershaw spot, but it was fun to have Kershaw. Well, guess what? He could have used that spot maybe. So, yeah, I think there may be some second guessing due there.
Do you think we're going to be talking about a new Team USA manager after this? I know you want that to happen, but
yeah, I want somebody that this is a little more. I just am not a DeRosa guy, and I know that Tony likes him. They're friends and they know each other. I don't know him, so I think I have a little more of a jaundiced look at this guy. I don't think he's fun. I don't think he's I really do. I think he's kind of arrogant, and I think he's kind of aloof. And I think the fact that he's, the United States manager makes him feel like he's above a lot of people. And I don't really see any reason why he should be. So that's my take on it.
I have an American closer that could have gone. Cade Smith from the Guardians.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty good guy. Pretty tough guy to hit.
That's all I got.
Speaking of tough guys to hit, Shohei Ohtani made his spring debut today for the Dodgers. Care to guess how he did?
I saw him. I didn't see what the score was though. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was given false information. Cade is he's a Canadian, so never mind.
Cade Smith's a Canadian, so that didn't even work for you.
I went with it. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, Shohei Ohtani 4 1/3, 1 hit today in his spring debut against the Gigantes. So
all right, good.
There's that to consider. I know, he's so annoying. All right, the NCAA tournament got going last night. Couple of pretty good games. And if you weren't into the games,
hold on. Did I just see you wiping your forehead with a napkin?
Oh my goodness, it's hotter than you can believe out here. What do you want me to do? There's sweat pouring down my face. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's going to be me tomorrow, but I did not realize that was what you were
I'm on
doing.
fire right now, Skraby. I'm an absolute fire. Okay, so last night, the second game of the NCAAs, whether you cared about Texas or North Carolina State or neither team or both teams, how much fun was it to watch that game if you did and listen to Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley doing color? That was cool. The rest of the tournament is ahead of us. We'll talk more about that when we come back on Gwynn and Chris. All right, Gwynn and Chris continues here on a Wednesday. Pulled into Phoenix, Peoria, actually, earlier this morning, Skrabe, and looked at my phone to get a update on some of the news stories back home in San Diego. First story, heat wave hit San Diego. I'm like, not like the one hitting here.
Yep.
not quite 105 in San Diego, I wouldn't think.
No, it's hot, though.
Definitely warming up. Yeah, definitely warming up here, and I'm sitting there on the back patio. Padres spring training in the complex here. It's pretty much just me. And, this is no place I'd rather be, honestly, Skrabe. It's pretty nice. The shade is keeping things reasonable here.
I was going to say, I'm going to bring a towel tomorrow.
Oh, it's warm. It's warm.
I am not known as someone who is cold-blooded whatsoever.
No, I sweat just staring at
at something hot.
At something like this. NCAA basketball started last night. I still, even it's the first four, and people don't have to pick those games in their bracket, so it isn't quite as interesting. I still like to watch it, and Texas, North Carolina State. I came right down to the last possession. Texas wins it on the jumper there. Of course, the first game came down to the last possession. Also, Maryland, Baltimore County went for the three, couldn't quite get it. I want to hate this stuff because of the NIL and the way these guys, jump teams now and try to say that it doesn't mean as much as it used to, but I don't know. Once the game starts, I just like it. I like the NCAA tournament. It does bring, thrills and spills. But it also brought something else last night, Skrabe. Charles Barkley doing the color with Dick Vitale.
Which game was this for? Because I did not see this.
This was the Texas, North Carolina State game.
I was driving home.
And Brian Anderson, our old guy, from TNT and the Brewers, Tony's old friend, but now, national. Brian Anderson did the play-by-play. So, this was a Hall of Fame trio here. And I thought the funniest line about midway through late in the first half, somebody sent a tweet into TNT and they put it up on the screen and it said, I'm getting a kick out of watching this. Barkley and Vitale talk for 15 minutes. And then after that, about BA gets one word in, and then they go back to it. So
I can imagine.
Poor BA. He's like, the shot is good. Okay, you guys, go ahead.
Go.
Tony, you're awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Well, yeah, Dick Vitale, man, just to see him healthy, and I don't know how 100% healthy he is, but based on what he's gone through, and everything that happened to this, poor man, and to have him there and just enjoying himself. And Barkley played a really nice tribute to him when he sat down at the table, and, Dickie V said nice things. So it was fun to watch that last night. And there will be another couple of games tonight, including Miami of Ohio against SMU. I think we've all discussed that Miami of Ohio is kind of representing everyone out there. Everyone is a little guy, that gets overlooked and can't get the job done against the big bad powerhouse conference and whatnot. That's Miami of Ohio's charge tonight against SMU. So we'll see how that one goes a little later on this evening. Tomorrow, then it gets going in earnest, right? All day tomorrow. Are you going to bring, like you normally do, a couple of laptops so I can watch games all day?
I do have several I have 4 laptops I'm bringing.
You're going to bring them all, set them up around the around the.
I've learned enough, Chris, to know that it's like pitching. You can never have too many laptops.
No, evidently the laptops are kind of the way of the world right now.
But yes, I will have something that we can watch the games on. Now, I was thinking about this earlier because we all know, and Nate said something on the chat that was really funny. Chris is back to where he last cried, which you did cry right over your shoulder there. Right.
Pretty much all over this yard I was crying.
When the Aztecs beat Alabama.
Yeah, Nate, you're 100% right. And that's just why I think that's why I still like coming here so often.
It gives you
have
good
a great
vibes.
Time when I get in. I have a good vibe when I get in this backyard. Yeah,
I don't know if we've ever done spring training with the first day of the tournament underway. I don't think we have. So this is going to be interesting.
Braden will be up early tomorrow because they got TCU and Ohio. I shouldn't call him Braden, by the way. Did you hear about that one?
Why?
Our new midday host, Brandon.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's the Brandon Soprano show.
Our station is hilarious. They put a promo together for Braden to appear at Baja Rick's on opening day, and they called him Brandon. Our own guy.
I know. My phone, whenever I say Braden into my phone, it always corrects it to Brandon, but
it does.
Braden.
Well, anyway, whoever announced it, they got their signals mixed up. So Brandon Suprenant, he'll be up early tomorrow because TCU's the first game tomorrow against Ohio State. I think that's a pretty good way to start tomorrow. Louisville got some bad news today, by the way. Their young freshman star player, Brown, I believe his last name is, not going to make it, not going to play against South Florida tomorrow. For those of you, looking for an upset in your bracket, perhaps that is, something that could be more likely to happen now with Louisville missing a key player. Also tomorrow morning, Skraby, and this one scares the daylights out of me, starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. So basically it means Wisconsin could be eliminated before the tournament actually even begins. And I already told everybody, and you agreed with me, that Wisconsin's an upset Final Four team. And both of us kind of are on that. But I always get worried. Whenever I pick an upset team, it just seems to backfire every single time. So if you're a Wisconsin fan, you got to be more worried than you ever thought you'd be for that game tomorrow against High Point, which is another North Carolina school, by the way, if you're wondering.
I did find that out last night, actually.
Friday, of course, the tournament comes to San Diego, and I think that's great. I mean, we got 4. Now, I don't think you get to go to all 4 games. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're holding tickets. Well, if you've got tickets to go see that, can confirm with us. I think there's 2 separate segments. So you go to the morning segment, you can see Arizona play Long Island University, in which case you may be sitting in on one of the biggest upsets in the history of the NCAA tournament. And then you see a pretty good second game with Utah State and Villanova in the 8-9 matchup. But then I think they kick everybody out of there, and then you come back a couple of hours later with a new,
I'm seeing it right now. They're selling tickets for a first round or for a session 1 and a session 2. So 10:35 for session 1, and then session 2 starts at 4:10 p.m.
Yeah, I think I'd rather go to the second session. I just think that there's the potential for better games. St. John's, you got Rick Pitino there against Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa has done this crazy stuff in the past, and then Kansas in the second game with Bill Self and all that, but I said it yesterday, Cal Baptist is a team a lot of people think is going to be, potentially a challenge for Kansas tomorrow or Friday night. So, look, you should go see an NCAA tournament at some point. Not all of us get to go to a Final Four. Not all of us can get tickets or, it's not nearby. So if you get a chance to go to one of these sessions on Friday, I think you should, you'd enjoy it. Just to be part of the NCAA tournament.
Last time they were here, I can't remember when exactly it was. It was a little while back or 2 times ago. I went to a Friday session, and it was really fun. I got to see Wichita State and that little bushel of wheat running around. That was awesome.
Well, and that's what you take from it.
The game wasn't great, but the bushel of wheat,
the bushel of wheat was a big turn on for you.
I don't know about turn on, Chris.
I think the thing that makes it fun is that you got 4 bands, you got 4 sets of cheerleaders and dancers, you got 4 mascots, like you just said. It's just the dynamic of it is something that you don't experience in sports very often.
No, you don't.
And if you're lucky, the fans from the second game will start rooting for the underdog in the first game because they just want to see them lose. There's a lot of weird dynamics that go along with it, but it's pretty cool to go see an NCAA tournament. If you're thinking about taking your son or daughter, I would recommend it.
It's well worth it.
You splurge a little bit and go out there on Friday and go see one of those sessions. I think you'll be happy that you did.
I actually have a great memory with my dad when well, it wasn't a great memory for the Aztecs when they lost to UConn. And we went to that game, and we saw that game, and we saw another game, and it was so much fun going to watch.
You're talking about the year that they lost in Anaheim, not the year they lost in the finals to UConn.
Oh, true. Yeah, correct. Yeah, Anaheim.
Yeah. They lost. Unfortunately, the Aztecs have lost in the tournament to UConn 3 times now. So
at least you could say they lost the national championship.
Right. Oh, for sure. They lost in the Sweet 16 to UConn the year after that. And then the one you're talking to is in the Sweet 16 in 2010 2011 when they made their first appearance with Kawhi Leonard and that guy, can't stand
Kemba
the
Walker.
guy. Kemba Walker faked, diving on the floor and drew a technical from Jamal Franklin and changed the entire complex of the game. It is. The rest is history. UConn went on to win the national title that year. And I say it's all because of Kemba Walker flopping and the ref buying it. But the second game that night was pretty good. You're right. It was Duke and Arizona. That's a pretty good game. And I know Kyrie Irving was in that game for Duke. I was in a deep depression at the time. I watched the first half and then drove back to San Diego. I just couldn't watch anymore.
Really?
After the loss to UConn. Yeah. Just wasn't fun at that point, but it is a great dynamic to go to an NCAA tournament, regional, and you're going to get that chance to do that. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that you need to know for filling out your brackets. And, there really isn't a whole lot more info I can give you.
I can tell you this. I've been asked a couple times if we're starting a bracket, and we're not doing one this year. I'm sorry. We're not.
Everybody just do your own brackets and keep tabs. And if you go like 64-1, then
tell us if you get really far and you haven't missed one yet. We want to know about those ones for sure.
Some NFL news today. The Eagles. Hey, do you understand this? They're trading for Andy Dalton. Why? What?
Because he's a solid backup.
He's a what?
He's a solid backup, I guess.
Come on.
Jalen Hurts never misses games, really, so they don't have to really worry about it.
Who was their backup before? Do we know?
Yes, I do know. I guess Jalen Hurts missed a couple games last year. It wasn't Kenny Pickett. Let me see. Hold on.
Well, then it says Kenny Pickett got signed by the Panthers, so maybe it was Kenny Pickett. I don't know. I just think Andy Dalton's a guy that is a placeholder. He goes out and takes snaps from center and loses the game.
He's kind of like a scout team guy too.
Yeah, but why? Why pick up a guy that gives you like no chance of winning the game?
You don't know that though. He could win you a game.
You do though. Andy Dalton went 1-6 in 7 starts with Carolina. The 3 years he went 0-1 with against. But it's Andy Dalton.
Why do you have such a problem with Andy Dalton getting traded for?
Because there's got to be something more inspiring you can do than just bringing in 38-year-old Andy Dalton.
Okay, let's play a little bit of a name game. Would you go Andy Dalton or would you go the Eagles' backup quarterback Tanner McKee? Exactly.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
So. All right. Well, you got him, Eagles fans.
I'm not saying you bring him in and make him your starter for the year. I'm saying I
didn't say they're going to bring him in and make him a starter. I can't. Let whoever Tanner McKee is, give him a shot. I'd rather have some young guy trying to prove himself, going out there and giving it his best shot, than just regurgitating 38-year-old Andy Dalton, who I know is going to lose the game.
He's going
It just seems stupid to me.
He's going for the record of playing for the most teams in the NFL because
Ryan Fitzpatrick was the other guy, but Ryan Fitzpatrick would come to a team like this and he'd have a little Ryan Fitzmagic, so he was kind of worth taking a shot at. Andy Dalton is not. I'm sorry. It's the same argument I had with Adam on Tua. The Falcons got Tua. Adam says, well, they have to have somebody. I'm like, yeah, you do, but why do you have to have somebody that you just know is going to lose?
I think that's
there's got to be somebody else you can get.
I think that's your bias talking because Tua can win you games. We've seen him win games. We've seen him win games. We've seen him win games.
We've seen him win games against bad teams only, Skraby, and that is a fact. You can't even remotely argue that.
It's all relative to the NFL. You tell me that all the time. An NFL team is an NFL team. That's
I don't, and you don't like this either. So I'm surprised, but I don't like just, people that are old and broken down and have shown what they can do being resurrected and being given millions of dollars again. I don't care for that.
I don't even know if he ever
earn it.
I don't even know he's not resurrected. He never died. You know, he's been in the NFL forever.
Wait, who's Andy Dalton?
Yeah, he has
never
not retired or anything, so he hasn't resurrected. I want to get this in real quick because the whole Max Crosby thing, Chris, we thought was crazy.
Yeah, tell me what's going on here. I didn't get the latest on
quick
this,
story,
but I heard he's not happy with how the whole thing went down.
Yes, so quick story, the Ravens they acquired Max Crosby from the Raiders, and then a couple days later, the Ravens declined the physical, which sent Max Crosby back to the Raiders. So Max Crosby was not really feeling that, but here he talked about it on his podcast, and here's just 30 seconds of what he said about his visit.
Had my MRIs, I was asking Joe, could I, before I left, I wanted to see the head coach, just chop it up, talk football, talk ball. He's a defensive guy. Never met him before like that, so I wanted to chop it up. So I didn't get to meet with him till the end of the day. I didn't get to see the GM at all. I thought I was going to see him when I first got there. I didn't see him for 5 hours.
So he didn't come out the whole time you're testing or doing your physical. Everyone's talking about
never.
The GM never came once out to see you.
And I don't.
All right, I have to stop it because he goes on to swear a bunch about it, but it goes on to say as well, and I don't know how to feel about this. They flew him commercial from Las Vegas, and then they had him go to a Washington, D.C. airport and then take a 2-hour drive to the facility. So it seems like everything was very haphazardly done.
I think the Ravens tried to put one over on everybody here. I really, really do. I honestly think the NFL should launch a bit of an investigation into what happened here. They've launched investigations into less stuff than this. I believe that the Ravens all along wanted Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. I just believe that that's what they wanted. And for some reason, they felt by, finding a way to bring Max Crosby in, who I don't think they ever had any confidence that he was going to be healthy, that might help them land Trey Hendrickson, who might say, wow, you went and got Crosby. Yeah. Now you're offering me a deal. Okay. I'm signing with the Ravens because you just said it, Skraby. They made the guy fly commercial. They flew him to the wrong airport. They made him drive 2.5 hours. He just told you the GM never even came out to welcome him.
Crazy.
Are you kidding me?
This
is one of the biggest. This is one of the biggest signings in team or trades in team history, or right up there with Derrick Henry and everybody else that the Ravens have got. And the GM can't even make himself available. I honestly think that the Ravens felt that a smoke screen would help get Trey Hendrickson signed. And the minute that Trey Hendrickson signed on the dotted line, I think the Ravens then began looking for a way out of Max Crosby. They wanted their draft choices back. I think it's a bunch of crap that he didn't pass his physical because you know what? He's going to be playing for the Raiders, so he's going to pass that physical. I think that the NFL needs to look into this because I think the Ravens really pulled a fast one here, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right to use a guy like that, and I think that's what the Ravens did here.
You know what I got to say to that, Chris? I agree with you 100%. I think this is what happened. And the GM knew what he was doing by not meeting with him. He was just afraid to go in there and meet with the guy because he knew what was going to happen. And then Max Crosby said he was talking to the coaching staff. No one was excited. No one was smiling, and he felt like something was up. And there's one guy I think I wouldn't make angry, and that's Max Crosby. He is a very good football player, and I cannot wait for him to face the Ravens in the future.
I can't wait for anybody to face Andy Dalton in the future. Andy Dalton never won a playoff game and threw 1 touchdown against 6 picks. And his last was in the postseason, Skraby, 13 years ago.
All right, Daily Gambit.
Every group chat has.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me. Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right, well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me. Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go.
Hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris. And Skraby, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm in Peoria today. If you're just tuned into the show, I'm out on the back patio at the Padres spring training complex. There are no Padres anywhere to be found. They have the day off today. But tomorrow, all the Padres will be here, and I'll be here, and Skraby will be here, and Tony will be here, and we'll be bringing you all kinds of Padre insight and interviews on the program, not only tomorrow, but Friday as well. So make sure you make your plans the next couple of days. In the meantime, hang out with us today until 6 o'clock. SDFC, they got the big one tonight. Toluca is one of the top clubs right in the entire league of Mexican soccer. So this is not a gimme, but we have the lead. We're up by 1 going into the match. Do you like this format, Skraby? I find it to be fascinating.
What, going to play a totally different team from a totally different country in the middle of the season?
No, okay, yeah, that does bug me, but I get it. This is how soccer is. They stop and they play other tournaments. Yeah. But no, I'm talking about the format where you're playing the same team in a 2-match total score. And I think what makes it really interesting is the tiebreaker, which is goals scored on the road. Now, in this particular instance, it's bad news for San Diego FC because Toluca, although they lost here last week to SDFC, did score 2 goals. So basically SDFC tonight has to score either at least score 2 or they have to forge a tie.
No, I don't like this because I don't like it.
I love it.
I don't like it.
I love it. I think it's cool.
It's kind of like the World Baseball Classic tiebreakers. It made no sense to me. And I understand you had to take into account for games that ended early due to the run rule, but it was way too complicated.
Well, one thing that was crazy in the first round of the CONCACAF Challenge, SDFC won its match here 4-0, I believe, or 4-1. Then they went to Puma and they lost 1-0, but they were the ones celebrating at the end of the match because they moved on.
Yeah. See, that's the part
so
I don't
that
really
is a
like.
Strange dynamic.
I need a clear winner. I don't like the back end of things.
So tonight, if SDFC and Toluca play a 1-1 draw, SDFC is dancing around like gangbusters when it's over.
I'll be happy about that.
They will have advanced.
Yeah, I'll be happy about that part.
We'll be happy about that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check in on that match and some of the rest of the stuff coming up in today's Daily Gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We made some bets on the playing games last night, and the Howard Bison took on the Maryland of Baltimore County Retrievers. Chris went Howard, I went Retrievers. Howard won 86-83, and they were a 1.5-point spread, so they win the bet as well. North Carolina State -1 against Texas. We both went Texas. We were both correct. Texas won 68-66. North Carolina State, what was the total score of that game? Over under 158.5. Both of us went under. Both of us were correct. 134. Then USA -1.5 on the run line against Venezuela. We both went USA. Venezuela, as we know, won 3-2. Over under 9 runs in the game. Total, you went over, Chris. I went under. It was 5. Here's where I made a mistake. Detroit -18.5 against the Wizards. We both went Pistons. 18.5 is a ton of points for an NBA game. They won. The Pistons did, but they only won by 13. So we did not win that bet.
Yeah, because Trae Young decided to play only well enough to lose by 13. I'm sure he was pleased with himself. He's got to be. You know what, Trae Young, I'm sorry. My reputation on Trae Young is that he's one of the great losers in NBA history.
Oh, my gosh.
Not losers as in a person, just losers as in losing the game.
Oh, I can't comment. I don't really know. I know that
nobody takes an L like Trae Young.
Poor Trae Young is like catching strays in San Diego.
Yeah, I know. He's not even paying attention.
SGA over under 31.5 points last night. I don't remember what you said. I said over. He had 40.
I said over because, the refs are going to give him 30 just on some of the stupid calls they make. All right. By the way, Oklahoma City just keeps on winning game after game after game, and everybody just keeps complaining about them. They are the hated ones now in the NBA.
I think
it's
SGA,
very interesting.
I think SGA really enjoys this because there was a foul called on him last night, and then there was like a timeout, and he's walking off the court with the biggest Joker smile ever.
Yeah, he's like, I got him again. I fooled him again. The refs buy it every time. Yeah, he knows he got away with it. The guy, on that particular play, he had the ball in his left hand. He's right-handed. And as he felt like there might be contact, he just flung the ball at the basket with the wrong hand.
He did.
And the ref said, 2 shots. Like 2 shots. He wasn't even trying to shoot.
And without saying anything, he said
he just turned around and he just turned around and laughed his way back to the bench. He knows he's winning.
Kind of love it. All
right, let's start with the games tonight. I think you and I are tied like 6 apiece here so far this week. So let's see what we do tonight. All right. Toluca's favored, or not Toluca, but Toluca SDFC, 3.5 total goals, over or under?
3.5 total.
This
goals.
is a tough one. SDFC to me has to play a different style, which is hard because they're in my limited soccer knowledge, and I'm admitting this. But what I know about SDFC is they like to attack. They like to possess the ball. They like to go for it. I don't know if that's the best strategy tonight at altitude when all you need is a draw to advance. So I think you play a little more close to the vest. I'm going to say under. Hopefully they can maybe get a 1-1 tie and move on.
I don't think Mikey Varas has that in him. I'm going to say over.
You might be right. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
He seems like the type of coach that's like, we're not slowing down for anything. Because once we slow down, we get complacent. I could see him being that type of guy.
So what are you doing? Over?
Oh, sorry. Yes, over.
Over it is. Okay, very good. By the way, that match is at 8 o'clock tonight, which is nothing compared to, when they played the Aztec New Mexico basketball the other night. I think that was 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I was in my bed when it ended.
Goodness gracious. All right, college basketball tonight. Who do you have, Lehigh or Prairie View A&M? Lehigh's favored by 2.5. Quick note on Lehigh.
Wait, this is the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, play-in game. There's 2 more play-in games
yes,
tonight.
You're right.
All right, Lehigh favored by 2.5. Here's the note on Lehigh, and I like this one, Scrabe. I think you'll like it too. The last time they were in the NCAA tournament was 2012. They were a 15 seed. They had a guy named CJ McCollum, who's now a pretty good NBA player.
Yeah.
McCollum took apart Duke and beat them single-handedly in the first round, a 15-2. So last week, when Lehigh was clinching its conference championship in the tournament, their students started yelling, "We want Duke! We want Duke!" I thought that was great. You got to give them a lot of credit. This is 14 years later, but I thought that was really funny.
That has persisted. The legendary
Lehigh,
performance.
It was, man. Lehigh's always had the hammer on Duke. The question is, will they have it on Prairie View A&M? I say, why not? I'll take Lehigh minus 2.5. How about you?
You know what? I can't do anything with a Prairie in it, so I'll go Lehigh as well.
All right, there we go. And then the second game, I think, does have a lot of interest to a lot of us. SMU is 7.5 over Miami of Ohio. The 31-1 Rodney Dangerfields of college basketball.
This is an interesting and difficult bet for me because I want Miami of Ohio to show everybody they were wrong. They're actually a team that could win. But I just have this weird feeling they're going to get blown out. So I'm going to go SMU.
You are, huh? Yeah, it could happen. It really could. But I'm just going to go with the Cinderella story. This is what March Madness is all about.
It is. You're right.
So to me, Miami of Ohio, they kind of they represent that. So I'm going to take Miami of Ohio. A couple of games tomorrow morning that'll be over by the time we come on the air, so we can pick them now. Ohio State 2.5 over the Brandon Suprenants. I'm going to take the Brandon Suprenants here. I like their coach, and I like the fact that they beat Florida earlier this year. I think TCU is a dangerous team. I not just because of Braden.
Yeah, I was going to say, for everybody who doesn't know, Braden went to TCU. I don't know if he's ever said that before.
I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that before.
I'm not sure.
If you've listened to his show for 8 seconds, you should know that by now.
Ohio State minus 2.5. I'm going to go, you know what? I think I picked TCU in my bracket, so I'm going to go TCU.
Horned Frogs it is. Then one other game tomorrow morning I wanted to pick.
Wait, which way did you go? I'm sorry.
I took TCU also.
All right.
And then we got Nebraska against Troy. 12.5 points. We talked about this yesterday. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. Ever, never. I got to hope it stays that way. I'm going for Troy, the team that beat the Aztecs in double overtime earlier this year.
Troy
I get 12.5 points, which is a lot.
Yeah, I'm going Troy. Troy is quickly becoming that team where everybody is thinking, oh, they may make a run.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to make a run, but they may win a game. All right, those are a couple of games tomorrow. And then quickly we go into the NBA night. And, look, the Warriors and the Celtics are playing. What is going on with the Warriors? Are they in or not, the playoffs? I didn't even know.
No, Steph's been hurt. Draymond's been hurt this year.
He's been out for a long time.
Jonathan Kuminga was a big controversy.
They got rid of him, though.
I know. That was the controversy, is that they never gave him an opportunity, and now he's going to be a good player. That's
all right, the other night, the Lakers beat the Rockets 2 nights ago. They play them again tonight. And again, they play them in Houston. It's like a 2-game series. And again, Houston's favored by 1.5. Lakers won the other night. Skraby, you going to go Lakers again?
Is this going for their 7th straight win?
And they're, back-to-back at Houston?
KD took this one hard. So He
put it all on himself. He said, I stunk up the joint. I got to score.
He said, I lost the game. I'm going to go with Houston. I got to feel like he's going to bounce back.
I do, too. The Lakers, if they win both of these games, man, my hat's off to them. That's not easy to do. The Trae Young trade has, turned it all around for the Hawks. They've won 10 in a row. They're at Dallas, favored by 8.5. I'm going to go Cooper Flagg. Plus the points. He's going to be the rookie of the year, even though he's not on a very good team. He's been all that and even more this year for Dallas. But you talk about a franchise that has disintegrated after that Luka trade. I never thought it would happen this way, but it did, right? The GM lost his job. The ownership changed. Anthony Davis eventually got traded. I mean, what a debacle.
Yeah,
that whole trade has turned into be for Dallas. But I'll take them tonight.
I still remember the coffin that the fans brought to the stadium, which was their
fanhood.
Fanhood was dead.
Yeah, you got to give the credit to the fans. I thought the fans were overreacting. They weren't. No, they knew.
They were very upset about this. You took Dallas. I'm gonna go ATL.
Go with the ATL. All right. One more. Let's see. SGA. Oh, God. This is a matchup tonight of two guys that are just, always criticizing each other.
I like that.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown hates SGA because he thinks SGA gets all the calls.
It's because they're the same player, basically.
They do the same thing.
That's why he hates it.
Jaylen Brown whines about it constantly. All right, what are you going?
I don't know the bet.
I know. I can't find the bet. Here we go. Give me another second. I'm going to need more time.
I love going to the Jeopardy music.
Oh, my God. All right, I'm going to go SGA -4 against Jaylen Brown tonight.
SGA -4 against Jaylen Brown.
They're playing each other tonight. I'm going to go Jaylen Brown because he really hates SGA right now. I think he's going to be highly motivated.
I think Jaylen Brown's going to get kicked out of the game early because he's not going to get a call and he's going to lose his mind.
That's
SGA.
possible.
He got kicked out of the game the other night for arguing.
He did. He was not pleased at all. And you're right. If he's ever going to get kicked out of another one, tonight would be the night.
He didn't care that he got kicked out. He was like totally cool with it. I don't know how I would feel if I actually got kicked out of a game. If I would feel embarrassed and ashamed, or if I would be. I'm proud of myself.
I just want to know what's going on in the NBA right now. This is all we're talking about. Unfortunately, nobody is talking about, some of the performances that these guys are turning in. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is about the refs just not calling the game right, and that star players are just taking advantage of it.
That's what they want.
I see.
That's what the NBA wants. That's
what they want. Huh?
The NBA is a clip-friendly sport. It's very easy to put out a clip of some guy dunking, and it's 15 seconds and it's over.
Do you know, I got one last thing on basketball. Do you know who Jason McElwain is?
It sounds familiar, but
I know it does. It's going to sound familiar to just about everybody. I'm bringing this up because Scott Van Pelt posted this video last night, and he said in the post, I've seen this video maybe 1,000 times, and he said, every time I see it, I cry harder than the time I saw it before.
Oh.
So I said, I got to watch it again, and I had forgotten what happened. But Jason McElwain, 20 years ago now.
Yes.
This is 20 years ago, and you've seen this clip, but if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to watch it. He was a kid that was born with serious autism. Thank you. And he loved basketball, but they'd never let him play. He was too little. He didn't have the mental, they didn't think the fortitude to play. He wanted to be a part of it so bad. His mom called the high school coach, said, can he just be on the, team manager, anything? And the coach said, yeah. And Jason McElwain went to every practice for 4 years. And then the very last game, the coach did him a solid and said, why don't you come out and be in uniform? And people thought, wow, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. You're going to let this kid, come out and just be in uniform and be in the layup lines and that whole thing.
Like all the students are cheering when he comes in the game.
Just because he was he's just in the layup lines, like he was just out there. And then all of a sudden the game got a little crazy at the end, and the home team was way ahead. And so the coach said, what the hell? And he put him in with 4 minutes to go. And in 4 minutes, he scored 20 points.
That is crazy.
It's the most unbelievable thing you have ever seen.
It is something that may make me tear up a little bit.
Even you,
me.
The non-softy, there's no way to watch this clip without reacting to it. And just the reaction of his teammates jumping around every time he kept making a three-pointer. It's incredible. If you've never seen it, you got to find it. It's Jason McElwain, MC, capital ELWAIN. And if you have seen it, it's not going to hurt you to watch it again.
I definitely found Scott Van Pelt's Twitter.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You can find it pretty easily. More Gwynn and Chris after traffic. By the way, hearing that promo for Duke's Mayo. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris Skraby. Today, Tony's back with us tomorrow. We'll all be together here in Peoria. A couple of days worth of Padres shows from spring training. Don't miss them tomorrow and Friday. But that Duke's Mayo commercial, Scrabe, just came on before we did.
Where are we going with this?
Well, I'm going to just say, first of all, I'm a mayonnaise fan. I like mayonnaise. I don't need to slather it, but I just like some, good mayonnaise on a sandwich or something. I think it's a good thing. But when they do the Duke's Mayo college football bowl game, and then at the end of the game, the coach has to get like his entire body covered in tons of mayonnaise.
It's gross.
Yeah. They need to come up with something different.
Is that one? You think that's one of the bowl games that might get cut in the future? Is the mayonnaise bowl?
I don't know, but I can do without the poor coach getting, his hair and anyway.
Yeah,
mayonnaise is not something I want to. It's not. I like to eat it. It's not something I want to bathe in.
There's a place in Encinitas that I go to all the time. I'll give them a shout out. They have no idea that I go in there, but it's called Subman, and they slather the mayonnaise on and I don't say anything about it. It's the only place I go, and I'm like, it's okay. I can do this.
Do you ever ask for extra mayonnaise?
No, gosh, no. They put enough on.
Right. I was going to say, if you ask for, not there, but just at another place.
No,
you
never.
go to a normal sandwich, and the guy says, you want anything? You go, yeah, give me some extra mayonnaise. You're risking it if you do that.
Yes, you are risking it
because they may just
soup.
overturn the entire jar on your sandwich, and then you're sunk.
I do like mayonnaise with my French fries, though. When I went to England, I did that a bunch, and I did actually like it.
Yeah, now you're sounding as pretentious as Rory McIlroy. We're going to talk about
that later.
We're going to talk about him later. He's got his meal out for the Masters. Wait till you hear what Rory's got lined up for everybody next week. All right. I thought this is a story that I wanted to touch on. We only got a minute, though, because we're at the bottom of the hour, and then we're going to talk our soccer guy. But we talked about it yesterday, how the kid for the United States who scored the winning goal in the Olympics, and what's his name? Hughes, right?
Jack Hughes,
yeah. 23-year-old kid, no teeth, gets the winning goal, smiling and the whole thing. He's a national hero. And then somebody asked him, he goes, what do you do with the puck? They just scored the winning goal with it. And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I don't know where it is. We come to find out it's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, which you think is, probably a good resting spot for it, except for the fact Jack Hughes wants it. It's like, hey, wait a minute. That's my puck, man. Yep. I put it in.
Yep.
Well, the Hockey Hall of Fame begs to differ, apparently, and they're being pretty rude about it, if you ask me. Scrabe, why don't you read what happened here?
It's very rude, but the Hockey Hall of Fame did respond to Jack Hughes, and they said Philip Pritchard, pretentious name, vice president of the Resource Center and curator for the Hockey Hall of Fame, told ESPN, quote, unfortunately, in the easiest words, it was never Jack's puck to own. It's been donated to us now. For every artifact that's been donated, we leave a paper trail and signed paperwork of where it's coming from or where it's come from.
Right.
So he is saying Jack Hughes and Megan Keller, who made the goal for the women team to win the gold, they're never going to get their puck ever, because apparently the rule is it goes to the Hockey Hall of Fame. There's it's immediately their puck.
What rule is this?
The golden goal, I don't know. Apparently this is how they do things when they need to catalog something that's historic.
Can I just say that this is a crock of bleep? Do you mind if I throw that in there?
As long as you say bleep, yes.
Well, here's the thing. What if Jack Hughes had been, and he wouldn't have never done this because he was busy celebrating, but what if he would have thought of it, or maybe his brother would have skated over and got the puck while he was celebrating?
You know why?
And then given it to him. How is the Hockey Hall of Fame going to get it back? If I'm Jack Hughes, I tell you to pound sand.
He's like,
get out of here.
I got my teeth knocked out for this puck.
This is the most historic thing I've ever done. You want to put a picture of me up in the Hall of Fame? Great, I'm all for it. You can take a picture of me with my gold medal. You're not getting my puck.
Yeah.
And I'd have to get some clearance on this. And, who would know is our guy, Tony, because his dad, I'm sure, got asked for stuff. But I don't think they could just, go into Tony Gwynn Sr.'s house and say, we're going to just have to take that gold glove. We're going to have to display it in the Hall of Fame.
That is,
I'm pretty sure that he would have had to give him the okay to do it.
Yeah. Now here's the process.
They don't just get it.
Here's the process. When a milestone moment happens in the NHL, players are typically allowed to keep. Oh, wait, hold on. That wasn't what I wanted to read. Oh, gosh, I lost it. Basically, what happens here, I don't know why.
I hate when you find something and then it disappears on you.
Basically, what happens here is immediately when something like that happens, the referee goes and picks up the puck and collects the puck first and then brings it over to someone who represents the Hockey Hall of Fame.
So they have somebody there waiting at the – right, if Gretzky's going for his 815th goal, there's people on hand there.
Here it is. An on-ice official will collect it before an off-ice official, such as official scorekeeper or timekeeper, wraps tape around it to identify it. The puck is then given to the IIHF, which then formally and officially donates it to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I get it, but what if Gretzky wants the puck? I think it's his puck first.
It's not. It's not, though. It's the
NHL's
What if he
grabs it? What if he goes into the – what if he scores it and goes into the net and grabs it and brings it back to the bench? Who's going to take it from him? What are you going to hire?
The Rocker.
You're going to have to call Rocco. Our friend Rocco.
He's going to break his legs. He's going to break his legs.
Hey, Gretzky's out on the injured list. Why? Rocco broke his legs.
Rocco
to get the puck
got
back.
to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this is a raw thing. I want to ask Tony tomorrow if we think about it, but I can't imagine the Baseball Hall of Fame could just take a ball or an artifact from his dad.
I'm thinking
his dad had to okay it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. I can't say definitely. Kalos has an interesting question. Would Team Venezuela get to keep the baseball that was used for the last out for the WBC? I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, but is the Baseball Hall of Fame going to want it, and do they own it? Is it theirs? Is it not Team Venezuela's to own?
It does actually make sense to me, though, that the league owns the ball, because without the league, I guess there's no historic moment.
I know what you're saying. I do. And that's why I think it's a bit of a conundrum. We have a conundrum here, Scrape.
I know.
But I don't think we should just, and if I'm Jack Hughes, I'll be honest with you, people have sued for dumber stuff than this.
That's true.
I might consider, grabbing a lawyer and saying, hey, help me get my puck back. I think they'd have a chance. I certainly wouldn't. I don't think I would, I would not, I throw everything else out. I don't think I'd throw that out of my courtroom. I'd want to hear arguments before I could decide who should have the puck.
Like if Venezuela gets to keep the baseball, or they don't get to keep the baseball, it makes no sense to me that they would display a baseball for Venezuela's win in Cooperstown, New York. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't mean anything to us.
And that's what they're doing with the puck right now. It's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, which happens to be in Canada.
Yeah, they're backing up a U.S. win.
The team Jack Hughes scored the goal against.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, this is an interesting one. It really is. Should it be in the Hall of Fame for all of us to see, or should the person who scored it have a chance to keep it first? So we'll take a break. We'll ponder. We'll also talk about some goals we hope the San Diego FC will be scoring tonight. Our weekly MLS interview next.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games down.
All right, Skraby is at the Bill House Studios. He's still in San Diego. I made the trek out to Peoria this morning. Crisello from the Peoria Sports Complex here, where the Padres have the day off. So not bad. I should do, Skraby. I should just invite everybody out, man. I got the whole place to myself. We could just overrun the place. I don't think the Padre management would mind. A little party back here.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Break into the cafeteria,
The cafeteria is right here. We got all the mounds where the guys do their, tosses, and got a couple of practice fields at our disposal here. I think we could have a great time.
I would love that. That would actually, I've never been able to even look inside the hitting cages. That's actually, the players take that very seriously.
Oh yeah. They don't want you looking in the hitting cages. Anyway, we're at Padres spring training, or I'm at Padres spring training camp. Now, the good news tomorrow, Padres will be here, and Tony will be here, and Skraby and I will both be here. So we will do our next 2 shows tomorrow and Friday from right here in Peoria. We'll have lots of interviews and all that stuff. So make sure you're tuned in tomorrow and Friday. But tonight, really, I think, it's the big deal in town, man, is SDFC trying to get through another round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And, man, they got a tough assignment on their hands tonight as Jake Zivin joins us from MLS Apple TV. Jake, appreciate the time, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited, one, to get to San Diego this weekend for Sunday night soccer against Real Salt Lake, but also for tonight. This is a huge game for San Diego. I mean, it's up there in the biggest games in the club's history. Dramatic leg one, right? And I can't wait to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I mean, your expertise is kind of where I need to go here. SDFC does something unbelievable from what I'm told anyway. Last week, I mean, I watched enough soccer to know that winning the game with 2 men down is an unbelievable accomplishment. But I don't get the feeling that a lot of people expect them to go, to altitude tonight, 8,700 feet and be able to, hold to Toluca to a tie or a draw so that they can advance. What say you about their chances tonight?
Yeah, they won't be favorites. Toluca are one of, if not the best team in Mexico and have been for the past 2+ seasons. They're really, really good. It's a really hard place to play. You mentioned the altitude, but beyond that, going on the road and in a raucous environment will be difficult. But this San Diego team has, for a year plus, just consistently and constantly exceeded expectations. Nobody thought that they were going to do anything in their expansion year. And they won the Western Conference and they set expansion records. Leg one, you go down a man early in the game. That is a death sentence, especially against a team like Toluca. They go up 3-1. They go down 2 men. They still hold on to win 3-2. 3-1 would have looked a little better. They would have been happier with that. But again, the club has just exceeded expectations as underdogs for a year and a half. There's no reason to think they can't do it tonight. They won't be favorited, but on the other hand, this is what they do. This is what San Diego FC does.
Talking to Jake Zivin, play-by-play for MLS on Apple TV here, 97.3 The Fan, and he is brought to you by the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. Now, we were just talking about the World Baseball Classic a little bit earlier, and so can you put perspective into the CONCACAF cup that they're playing in? How important is this for the players? Because the World Baseball Classic, it seemed like it meant everything for Venezuela and their players. But would they rather be staying home tonight and getting ready for a game on Sunday? Or do you think they're extremely okay? Go ahead. Yeah.
No way. No, this is a big deal. And it's hard to compare it to the World Baseball Classic because that is a one-off thing, and it's a short tournament in spring training preseason, right? Yeah. And it captures this national pride, which has been incredible. And as a fast sports fan, it's been awesome to watch. But it is still kind of this short, quick kind of flash in the pan sort of event. The CONCACAF Champions Cup is every year, and it's a big deal. Look, the UEFA Champions League, the Champions League in Europe, is the biggest club competition yearly in the world. Like the winner of that is considered the best team in the world in that year.
Okay.
And the CONCACAF Champions Cup is North America and the Caribbean and Central America's version of that. If you ask them, would you rather win CONCACAF Champions Cup or MLS Cup? You might get split answers. But if you ask them, would you rather be playing now or, what do you focus on now or Sunday? Yeah, it's tonight. And you just look to the team that Mikey Barrs put out on Saturday in Dallas, right? Heavily rotated with the emphasis being on tonight. This is a big deal, especially when you're playing against a team like Toluca that is a top team in Mexico. This is a big deal for San Diego FC.
And I would think also for MLS, just in general, to say, hey, we can get the Champions Cup come from our league would be I think a feather in the cap of the league too, right?
It's a big deal in the current format.
Yeah.
Only one MLS team has won it. It's the Seattle Sounders a few years ago. And until they won it, it was this kind of mountain to climb, and every MLS team wanted to be the first to do it. But it was so hard to go down to Mexico and win, whether it be the first leg or the second leg down in Mexico or the final down in Mexico. MLS teams were at a little bit of a disadvantage because it started, the CONCACAF Champions Cup was played during the beginning, and sometimes San Diego played the CONCACAF Champions Cup, their first two legs, last round, like 3 weeks before the season opener. That's the thick of the preseason. That was so impressive that they were able to do that. And so that's always been against MLS teams, the schedule, the timing of it. So when Seattle won, that was a big deal. And when the next MLS team wins, that'll also be a big deal. And San Diego, of course, in their second year as a club, that would mean a lot to the club.
Jake Zivin with the Apple TV MLS, and they do all the great matches here, and including the Sunday one when SDFC will be back home to take on Real Salt Lake. I want to go straight up. It's 4 games in. You touched on, why the Dallas game might have ended in a draw. We were trying to rest some guys. Yeah, we have a 19-year-old goalkeeper who, finally gave up a goal the other night, but first 3 matches were 8-0. I'm wondering, do you think this team here, early, but could we be better already this year than what we did last year, just in terms of ability on the pitch?
Maybe. I'm honestly, to me, it's been one of the surprises of the season because everybody knows now what San Diego FC is going to try to do. They know what they're about. The club might have caught some teams off guard last season with this, incredible style of play and the ability to play out of the back no matter what and dominate possession. But that's not surprising anybody anymore. They know exactly what San Diego FC is, largely the same group of players this year with of course, some exceptions. And honestly, I thought there might be a little bit of a sophomore slump. Not a big one. They'd be good. They'd be competitive in the Western Conference, but maybe not at the top of the West, winning the West again. But after the first month of the season, combining MLS and CONCACAF Champions Cup play, they look better, don't they? They look like they've just evolved, and what their ability to play in tight spaces and play out of the back is even better than it was. It's remarkably impressive. They have an Anders Dreyer, the second best player in the league, I think, behind Lionel Messi. And it's unfortunate that he came into the league in the Lionel Messi era because he would have been the MVP last year, if not for the greatest player in the world playing in the same league. And it's just so impressive what Mikey Barros has done. And they've done it while navigating this Chucky Lozano drama. Mm-hmm. They're still paying Chucky $8 million. He's not even listed on the roster in their game notes. For them to be able to deal with that and still have this success on the field is so impressive. They're still going. I think they've almost leveled up, and yeah, why not? I think that San Diego should have the expectations of being the same spot they were last year, which is at the top of the West. And I think they're, along with Vancouver, along with LAFC, one of kind of this top tier of 3 favorites in the Western Conference.
Talking to Jake Zivin, play-by-play for MLS on Apple TV on the SDCCU fan hotline. In the NFL, I keep comparing it to other sports for some reason today, but in the NFL, it's a league where people copy each other. And so I'm wondering, with SDFC's success and how quickly they found success, are there teams within MLS that are now looking to them as maybe this is the blueprint?
I think that there has been in MLS this attempt to find a coach who brings this really wonderful and invigorating style of play. And it's been really successful the past 2 years. Wilfred Nancy did it in Columbus and won MLS Cup. Mikey has and Tyler and everything that San Diego have built are doing it in San Diego. Jesper Sorensen is doing it in Vancouver. So maybe not quite like, okay, we're gonna exactly copy San Diego. There's some things that are not copyable with the right to dream and the connection there. Not every club has that, and you can't just create that out of thin air. And even the ability to start from scratch is something that, when done right, can be used as a real advantage in MLS. It's very different from other sports. There is an expansion draft, but that doesn't really matter. You're able to kind of build this roster from all the players around the world that are available to you to sign, which is a huge bucket. And you can really pick and choose. And if you get it right, with the right coach and the right philosophy, it can be really successful. And it was for San Diego. So some constraints that make them, not like the blueprint isn't totally applicable just to copy and paste to a club that's been around for 30 years. But absolutely, I do think this instant success from managers that bring a very distinct philosophy that instills confidence in their teams and seem to kind of level up every player on the roster, that encourage them to express themselves and take risks. We have seen that have a lot of success in MLS the past few years, and that's a trend for sure that I think a lot of teams are trying to emulate.
All right, don't forget Jake's match here Sunday. You fans want to come out at 4 o'clock at Snapdragon to see SDFC take on Salt Lake, Real Salt Lake. And if you don't go out, watch it on Apple TV. Jake will be on the call. That said, Jake, I want to give you like a minute more on tonight's match. Yep. I say, with limited soccer knowledge, that maybe it would be best for us to try to slow it down and just get out of there with a 1-1 and go home and move on. Do you think there's any chance that San Diego, tries to, as the old saying would go, take a little air out of the ball and try to play it a little closer to the vest? Or is it just something they cannot really try because it's not their thing?
I would be shocked if they do that, because they are Mikey Varas is so dogmatic. He wants his team to play one way and one way all the time. Sometimes it hurts him. The first goal in Dallas on Saturday, they're playing out of the back as they always do. They give it away. It's an easy goal for Dallas. And so that is just baked in their DNA. But I do think that we'll see tonight. But if they don't do that, right, and say it's 1-1 late and they don't shut it down and they keep playing risky and they lose the game, then that could be a criticism for this style, because it works great and it produces eye-opening performances and results all the time. But sometimes, this is a sport, as you mentioned, where you do have to be a little bit pragmatic at times, and you do have to shut it down, right? And you do have to win the game or win the series, right? And does San Diego have that in them? We haven't seen them be in a position where they have to do it. They in the playoffs last year, they went down early to Vancouver, so they were trying to come back. So I don't know. I'm curious. If it gets to a point late where they're trying to just hold on, do they have it in them to shut it down? I don't know. We'll see. But they won't come out playing that way. I'd be shocked if they do.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people are excited. Jake, thanks so much. All you guys at Apple, I say it to everybody who joins us each week. We couldn't appreciate you guys more, and enjoy talking to all you guys, and enjoy your trip to San Diego this weekend, and look forward to catching up to you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Anytime. Can't wait to get to Snapdragon on Sunday.
Absolutely. We'll be waiting on you. Jake Zivin, the play-by-play voice, Apple TV and the MLS on Apple as the San Diego FC. That's Real Salt Lake match Sunday, but tonight, can they advance in the second matchup with Toluca?
I like that name, Toluca, too.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue. Toluca. MLB Network is so excited that Shohei Ohtani pitched today that they're re-showing the game from earlier today. I mean, it's exciting, I guess, but they roll out the red carpet for that guy every time he does anything.
4 1/3 innings, 1 hit for Shohei in his spring
it's pretty
debut
good.
today.
It's pretty good.
So it was pretty good. All right, more Gwynn and Chris coming up. I don't know if we'll have we got the Chris versus the fans.
Yes.
Okay. 833-288-0973. By the way, yesterday's Chris versus the fans, if you heard any of it, it was a feel-good moment, man. Bernice, one of our longtime listeners, got in there, got to the last question, had no idea, nor did almost anybody else, what the answer was, and pulled Chicago Cubs out as a team that once played spring training games on Catalina Island.
I thought about this multiple times.
That was one of my highlight moments of Chris vs. the Fans yesterday, Scrape.
It's pretty good.
That was good. We'll see what happens today when Gwynn and Chris returns. Heading into hour number 3, 4 o'clock hour it is. And Crisello in Peoria. I was going to say with the Padres. I'm not with the Padres. They're not here. But I'm here at the Peoria Sports Complex. Skraby and Tony will be joining me tomorrow. And we'll have 2 big days of Padre coverage right here on the program starting tomorrow afternoon. Skraby, I got a couple of quick notes before we get to the Chris vs. the Fan. And I just want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
For the first time in my lifetime, my wife kind of was demanded that we buy the insurance for the car, the rental car.
You know, we need to get into this a little bit more, maybe at 420.
Okay, you got something on this?
No,
because go ahead.
I won't ever understand renting a car when you have a car to go somewhere. Like,
you're worried about that part.
Yes, but for this,
so you want to know why do we rent a car when we actually already own a car?
Yeah, when I buy a car, it's like, okay, I'm going to drive you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're right. That's another discussion entirely.
Okay. For the sake of this, I'll throw that away.
No, you can keep it in there. I'll try to answer for her.
Okay.
Certainly not my decision.
Okay.
You think I ever have anything to say about it? No.
Probably not. Okay, so
that's
insurance.
That's how you stay married as long as I do. All right, we'll talk about the insurance thing, but let's go do Chris versus the Fans. Everybody wants to get in there and win some prizes, so let's go.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. I got some prizes, and then I got some rules. You will win a 4-pack of tickets if you win today to the Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals at Del Mar Fairgrounds, April 10th through the 12th. You can get details and ticket info at good-guys.com/DMN. If you win, you will also be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize, to 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and $150 resort credit. March is here, and Fontainebleau, Las Vegas is the place to catch every game. High-energy watch parties with expansive screens, great food and drinks, exclusive room rates, plus the pools and day club are now open. Book your stay today at FontainebleauLasVegas.com now. And Chris vs. the Fans is brought to you by the aforementioned Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals Car Show, April 10th through the 12th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Over 2,500 hot rods, muscle cars, lowriders, woodies, and more. Get details at good-guys.com. One final thing, the rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question, or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you will get that question for free today. All right. With all of that said,
that was a mouthful.
Let's go to Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, Jack. Always good to have you on, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. What is Aaron Judge's number?
I think it's 99.
99 is correct. I've always found it so strange that he's 99. But at the same time, he's one of a kind in baseball. So
we've also talked about the fact if you're a Yankee, you're running out of numbers.
That's true. Maybe that's
why. So many retired numbers. There's no single-digit numbers left. You cannot be a single-digit numbered Yankee anymore.
That's very unfortunate for any Yankee that wants to be a single-digit number. That's All right. Question number 2 to Jack. Who has scored the most goals in SDFC history?
Gotta be Dryer.
Dryer is correct. I couldn't decide if that was
kind of fair too, because maybe you're not a fan, but I think almost everybody kind of is a fan of that team now. It's a good thing.
I struggled with classifying this as a 1 or a 2-point question, so I ended up going with the 2-point
it's a
question.
1. It's a 1 if you follow the team. It's a 3 if you don't follow the team.
It's true.
Like you wouldn't know who he is.
Jack, he knew who he was.
Jack.
So we go to the third and final question. This is going to test your knowledge. What Team USA player won the World Baseball Classic MVP in 2017?
Oh, come on.
The only thing I can remember is Adam Jones robbing Machado, so I'll go with Adam Jones.
That was an iconic World Baseball Classic moment. Stay there, Jack. Chris, let me ask the question. What Team USA player won the WBC MVP in 2017?
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast, Scrab.
But you can remember something that happened in the 50s?
I know. The WBC, I know. This is good for you, Jack. I don't have any remembrance of this. I'm assuming it was the year the USA won. I don't even know that.
It is. Yes.
So, but who had the big tournament? I'll be honest with you. Who did they name the winner last night? I never even heard.
Maikel Garcia.
Maikel Garcia, huh? Okay. Yep. This was probably just as absurd as that. How about 2017? Sounded like a good year for, I don't know. Trey Turner.
That's actually, he was mentioned last night on the broadcast, unfortunately.
Okay. This was probably on the team.
Jack, you are the winner. I think this may have been Jack. A 5-point question.
Yeah, who was it?
You'll never believe it, but Marcus Stroman.
Obvious?
Marcus Stroman.
Oh my God!
Won the WPC MVP.
Wait, don't get Bob Brenly started with Marcus Stroman.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, you'll have another issue.
Yeah.
I can't believe that guy wears that do-rag thing.
Yeah, Bob Brenly. Yeah.
Bob Brenly is like the most out of touch. Like I think not just broadcaster, just out of touch person on the planet sometimes.
And he acts like, oh, I said something controversial. Okay, well,
yeah, I guess I'll just be on suspension for 3 weeks, and then I'll come back and say something else dumb. Like they don't hold him accountable. How many times does the guy have to do it before you say, let's get somebody else in there?
I remember seeing him because the Petco press box bathroom. Sometimes the broadcasters walk in there, so I was washing my hands, and Brenly walked in, and I was just like, man, if only you knew what we talk about here in San Diego.
If you only knew what my co-host said about you today, pal.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Brenly guy. It's the old thing. You make a mistake once, I'm okay with you. But Brenly's done it so many times that it's beyond, helping the guy out, I think.
Yeah,
so
no, I definitely agree. I have some random stories we could fit in here, Chris.
Give me a couple of quick things here to update us since Jack won the contest so quickly.
Yeah, and this is a very random story, but Master P is reportedly wants to become the next head coach for Arizona State basketball. So we'll keep a lookout for that.
Master P's son plays for Houston.
I do
University
know that.
of Houston.
Yes.
And you also know that Master P owned a team here in San Diego.
I did not know that.
CBA level team. Now the CBA used to be what they now call the G League.
Okay.
And I don't recall the name of Master P's team, but I think he owned it and played on it. And he's an okay player. And his son has turned out to be obviously very good. He plays at Houston right now, University of Houston right now. So Master P is pretty ensconced in the game of basketball. Yeah, I don't know what his coaching credentials are like, but I know that he's, this isn't just a total lark for him.
Okay, I was going to say, when I first read it, because I know that he has been involved with basketball and even flirted with the NBA and all that stuff, but first thing I thought was, well, that's great. I want to coach the 49ers.
Yeah, I know. It did sound kind of self-serving. I just remember when he bought the team here, I'm like, well, guess if you have enough money and you want to play some pro basketball, you just buy a team.
Buy a team. That's it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then you can put yourself on the team.
Nobody can stop you.
Nobody.
Master P's. But how about me having that much Master P knowledge? That surprises you a little, doesn't it?
That doesn't just surprise me a little. That surprises me a lot. Real quick, the all World Baseball Classic team: Austin Wells, Luis Ariz, your guy, Bryce Terang, Maikel Garcia, Ezekiel Tovar, Roman Anthony, Fernando Tatis Jr., Dante Nori, Shohei Ohtani, Paul Skeens is the pitcher, Logan Webb, and Aaron Nola.
So they didn't get a lot of Americans on there, and you know why?
Because they lost.
We didn't hit.
Because they lost
at the beginning of the show. We couldn't hit. Nobody could hit.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Americans did not hit. I mean, they just named a whole roster of players. There wasn't a single American on there except for the pitchers. Was there?
No, Roman Anthony.
Oh, so Roman Anthony, right? He did a few things. As a matter of fact, all the Red Sox.
Oh,
Bryce
Turang. Bryce Turang.
Turang got in there. Okay, all right, 2 guys. But anyway, still was not a great showing.
It was not.
Obviously.
And you know what? They've been in the final, I believe, the last 3 times, and they've lost the last 3 times, or at least the last 2 for sure.
I thought your comment on Aaron Judge was funny.
What's that?
I mean, Aaron Judge stuck his neck out there by telling everybody this was more important than the World Series.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to look like somebody stole his lunch money when he was standing over there in the dugout in the 9th inning. It was like,
what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your flight back to Florida? Like, what is going on in that head? Because it's not baseball, is what it looks like.
He just looked like a guy that, kind of stuck his neck out and then had it chopped off. I mean, Aaron Judge is one of the all-time players, right? I mean, he's top 10 player like in the history of baseball already. Yet, I'm assuming there's going to be people who only remember Aaron Judge for dropping a key fly ball in the World Series. And, I think throw in that 3 strikeout performance last night too.
I think I'll remember his 60-something home run season. I think I'll remember that stuff.
I would remember that more if he wasn't the only one to do it. I mean, he's got the American League record. But Cal Raleigh just did it too.
Cal Raleigh was 0 for the tournament.
And he wasn't even in the lineup for the game yesterday. They benched him.
I wonder if he should have shaken Randy Arozarena's hand.
We never heard from Arozarena on that, by the way.
And that's why I think it was a fake thing.
Oh, you think it was a fake out? But man, if it was a fake out, I mean, he really threw his own teammate under the bus because Cal Raleigh had to apologize for it, the whole time.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, kudos to the WNBA, and hopefully Major League Baseball can learn something from the women. We'll explain after traffic on Gwynn and Chris.
From the 855, get Ross.
Second day in a row, I believe we had a first player winner in Chris versus the fans.
That's true.
Which means I haven't answered a question all week. Although I don't even think Marcus Stroman's mom would have got today's question. Who was the 2017 World Baseball Classic MVP, Mrs. Stroman? I don't know.
Was it my son?
Was it Al Kaline? No, it was actually your son.
So he won it because he flirted with a no-hitter in the final. He gave up a double in the 7th before he was taken out of the game, but he pitched a total of 15 and a third innings, ERA 2.35, and he won them the title.
Okay. Good for Marcus Stroman. Actually, pretty good, I would say a pretty good country pitcher back, in his day. Never Hall of Fame worthy, but always very good.
Yeah.
Always very good. So, all right, let's get back to things here. I mentioned we got the Big Five coming up at the bottom of the hour, but I mentioned that the WNBA today did something that I just hope Major League Baseball will take a look at. I don't think they'll ever be able to pull it off. But I don't know if you saw this, Skraby, the WNBA and the Players Association and everybody apparently has come to the framework of a deal.
I did see this.
And so the WNBA season is going to go forward as, planned, as expected. And, the players are getting, at least from what I can read, quite a bump in salary. I think the salary cap has gone way up.
It's to $7 million now.
Yeah, but it was I think it was 1.5,
which is
before.
It's a big raise.
So that's a pretty big jump. Whether or not the players got everything they were looking for, I doubt it. That's how these things normally work. You have to give a little to get a little. That's how the negotiations go. But apparently, what they did is the leaders on both sides locked themselves in a room somewhere for, I believe they wrote 100 hours. So like the last 5 days, they've just been locked in there and they figured it out. And here's the thing that I'm, throwing out at Major League Baseball. I understand it's all different. Every situation, okay, all your excuses. The bottom line is they got it done like a month before the season's going to start. Like it's, the season's not starting tomorrow, and they just at the last second got this done. They're still like a month before the WNBA season starts, yet they locked themselves in the room ahead of time. And that's my, pitch to Major League Baseball, because Scrabe, and I know, and everybody else who's listening to this show knows that these dummies in baseball are going to wait until 2 hours before the, deadline in whatever it is, December, when the bargaining agreement runs out. And then they're going to go, we better lock ourselves in a room. You could do that now.
No,
and I understand.
That means that means that they're doing the right thing.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to, okay, I understand there's got to be the posturing. There's got to be the weight, this. You got to tell them that. But the WNBA said, forget it. We just want to get this solved and settled. And good for them. And, I think you and I probably, and a lot of people would say the WNBA probably wasn't in a situation where they could take a work stoppage.
No.
No. I think that they would have kind of disappeared from the scene, and I don't think it would have, made the kind of mark that they wanted. But I'm here to tell you, Major League Baseball disappears from the scene. Not that many people are going to miss that either. I mean, I know these guys are full of themselves, and they think that the world revolves around baseball. You and I know differently, Skraby. It revolves around football. And if these baseball guys want to step out, especially in December, right? They want to call officially a lockout or a strike in December. Is anybody going to care when we just flip the other channel and watch the NFL playoffs? There's no way. And, baseball can't take a work stoppage, and I don't think they realize that. And I give the WNBA credit because they realized it, and they said, look, let's not wait till the last second. And everybody says, well, that's how negotiations work. Well, who says? There's no law. There's no reason you can't start talking now and get the framework of something done 3 months before you have to.
I get all of this. I mean, I'm a procrastinator by nature, so doing things an hour before is for me, but it's not for a CBA negotiation.
Right. You're going to save the season on December 10th. Do it on April 10th.
And by the way, we are going to get to Chris's rental car story here at some point. Maybe even taking up a spot in the Big Five, because I do want to get to that. People are curious.
You want to know why why my wife makes us rent a car when we own cars?
It was more, I'm going to put that aside because we've talked about it in the past. It was more about the insurance. But let me tell you what the main thing of this new CBA is. And Jeff on the chat said, WNBA must have a real commissioner, which is funny because no one likes the commissioner of the WNBA.
Yes, they hate that lady. You're right. That's a funny point, Jeff. That's a funny point, Jeff, because, nobody seems to like her too much. But you know what? They give her credit, man. They got it done.
Here's the salary cap, as we said, $7 million up from $1.5 million. The average salary will be around $600,000, which is a definite increase, with minimum salaries surpassing $300,000. Supermax contracts will begin at $1.4 million, allowing players to earn at least $1 million for the first time annually. And the new revenue sharing system will be tied to the league's revenue growth, potentially leading to record-setting salaries. So this is a massive step forward for the WNBA. I don't know how to phrase this. I was going to say, I don't want to hear complaints, but they're still behind the 8 ball in what the ownership is making. So you know what I'm saying? Like, they got this deal done. I don't really want to hear about this for another couple years.
I think the biggest issue with the WNBA, the way I saw it, was that most of the teams are owned by the same people that own NBA teams.
Yeah.
Or many of them. Okay, so those people who own NBA teams have insane amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
The WNBA players said, well, we should get some of that. What the owners were saying, well, no, the NBA players make us all the money, not the WNBA players. I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. I'm saying what the argument was.
But that's standard business practice. You put you put more money into something that makes you more money.
The bottom line, that's right. And for anybody who thinks that the WNBA, is selling the same, number of tickets and creating the same number of eyeballs as the NBA, it's just the truth of the matter is it's not yet doing that. But it is making inroads, and it is doing better, and it's getting more popular. And I think it deserved, a bump in pay and the whole thing. And I think they got it. And I agree with you. Be happy with it. Let's expand on it in a few years. But let's, take what we got and run with it for now. Good on the WNBA. Good on the, the union and everybody coming up with some sort of agreement. Now baseball.
Get it done, Manfred.
Baseball's looking at me like, the hell are you talking about, man? It's only March.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Do something now.
Because you know what's going to happen? We're going to be talking about, are we going to miss games? Are we going to miss games? Because
we are.
Yeah, I know.
You know exactly how it's going to work.
We already did this, Chris.
Yeah. So why don't we just not do that?
I agree.
More Gwynn and Chris. Big Five may include an explanation as to why we rent a car and another explanation for why we paid for insurance.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
All right, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. I want to give a little shout out. We're here in Peoria. I'm in Peoria. Skraby will be joining me tomorrow. Tony will be here tomorrow. And then the rest of the Padres will be here tomorrow. Everybody's off today, but they were nice enough to let me come back here and do the show from the sports complex. And I did, we joked about this all day yesterday about the cafeteria, which is right over my shoulder for those that are watching on YouTube. I don't know if you can quite see it because it's a little dark. I'm sitting in the shade. But the cafeteria is right behind me. So it's so hot here. I snuck in there, I don't know, an hour and a half ago. All I did was get some ice in my water bottle. I know I'm in trouble. Don't let Grupner know. I'd be, probably have my press credential revoked. I got a couple of pieces of ice, and I actually trickled a little lemonade out of the disposer there. So, but as I was walking in, I ran into Eric Meyer, who's the director of broadcasting, vice president, director of broadcasting, and nice enough to say hi. I said hi to Eric, and I trust he hasn't reported me to the authorities.
Well, you're still there, so
I could be in trouble. I actually went back over there in the last break because I'm out of lemonade. Door's now locked.
Well,
no way.
Maybe he did report you. Maybe he did report you.
He reported me to the authorities, Skraby. You could have one of those. Your famous siren could be coming. Yeah, they could be coming to get me.
People really
any
hate
minute.
that because they think there's an actual police officer behind them.
Oh, as they're driving along? Yeah, I can understand that. Well, all right. Hopefully you're not in too much traffic getting home. You're relaxing, enjoying, because we'll check some traffic for you and then go to the Big Five.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Speaking of car maintenance, guys, make sure your car is in tip-top shape because we had numerous breakdowns, cars overheating yesterday. In fact, fire crews are still on scene of this car fire on southbound 15 at Camino del Norte. They got the right lane blocked. Also, an accident on eastbound 78 right before El Camino Real. That's over to the right shoulder. Going to find northbound 805 before the 5 merge crash over the right shoulder. We've got south 805 before Home Avenue accident over to the right shoulder. Crash involving a motorcycle, East 52. This is just past Santo Road. It's in the center divide. Some glass debris reported in the fast lane, south 163 before Friars Road. Now, West 8 at West Main Street, another crash involving a motorcycle. It's in the center divide, and you got a lane blocked on eastbound 8, crash near Los Coches. San Diego drivers, keep moving with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their expert technicians help keep your vehicle and everyone in it safe and road ready. Stay in your car. No appointment needed. Save at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Your 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
On the chat, Chris, it says, "Put the lemonade down, sir." That's what we're going to hear behind you.
I'm in deep trouble.
Sir, put the lemonade down.
Yeah, that's it for the lemonade. I'm going to break the bank. The Seidler ownership is going to crumble.
Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. What's the question?
Okay, so I want to ask you this real quick because then we're going to use number 5 as your car insurance dilemma that you were having. I am broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how, Chris in Arizona. So the lemonade thing. Have you ever stopped at a kid's lemonade stand and bought a cup of lemonade? Because I feel like I'm the grumpiest person on earth. They're always like, lemonade, lemonade. And I like speed away as fast as I possibly can by flicking dirt on them.
All right, first of all, to every kid that's ever gone out there and sold lemonade, or every parent that's had a kid that's gone out and sold lemonade, don't forget to bring some ice. The kid is sitting out there in the heat. The lemonade is supposed to cool me down just a little. And when I take my swig of lemonade and the lemonade is bubbling up because
it's like the surface
it's so warm. Right. It's not very tasty. So that's for all you parents who have kids who go sell lemonade. Secondly, of course I bought lemonade for the
Really?
kids, and I normally just give them $10 or $20 and go on my way.
You are the guy that they want to see coming down the block.
Yeah.
They're
I think
look
it's
at
great
money
that they
bags
do
over
that.
here.
Absolutely not. I just, I think it's something, it's going to maybe make their day. Maybe I think that's kind of a worthwhile exchange, frankly.
No, it is. I definitely agree. I probably shouldn't be such a grumpy old man when I pass a lemonade stand, but
Yeah. But I don't always have, $10 or $20. You think I'm that much money. Most of the time I have nothing in my pocket and I have to drive off just like you.
You show up, you put like $2 in there, and,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh man, this guy cheaped out on us today. He gives us the $20." All right,
I got nothing. I have one. I'm sorry. Before we get to the story on the insurance, I'm mad. Even madder now at SMU.
Oh,
basketball being part of the reason why the Aztecs are not in the NCAA tournament. A big part of why SMU made the tournament is because they have a star player named BJ Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He missed the last 6 games. They lost 5 of those games. SMU swore up and down that he'd be back for the tournament. That was one of the reasons I believe that they were chosen. It was like, hey, when they get him back, they deserve to be a tournament team. Well, he's not playing tonight against Miami of Ohio, so he's not back for the tournament. So guess what? The NCAA fell for a fugazi on that, and RJ Edwards,
BJ,
not playing. I think it was part of the reason they got chosen. So I'm more angry than normal.
Yeah,
on
I'm not feeling that either.
You're trying to tell me that if the Aztecs would have just said, well, Miles Bird missed the last game, but we're much better when he's in there.
Yeah, that's weird.
The NCAA go, oh, well, then we'll choose you because he'll be back.
And then he's not.
All
right, your insurance situation.
Well, we went to rent the car today for our trip to Peoria. And just to answer your question, why do we rent a car when we own cars? Wear and tear. My wife does not like to use the wear and tear on the car. So we save, I don't know how many miles it is, but about 800 miles.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of miles.
That's her point. It's not one, the old pick your spots. That's not worth fighting over.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, we'll rent a car.
All right.
But the one thing we did today for the first time ever is we purchased the insurance. And the guy always goes, do you want insurance? It's $25 a day or whatever it is. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know.
Like you're just selling me, I don't need the insurance. I have insurance already.
Yes.
Whatever he said to my wife turned it. And I think he said something like, well, if this car gets in an accident, you'll have to file a claim through your insurance to get us to help anyway. Whatever he said made her nervous enough to look at me and go, you think we should get it? And I've heard that question before, Scrape. And if we didn't get it and then something happened, you don't even want to know what doghouse I'd be in. So we got the insurance. But here's the good thing for getting the insurance. I feel like I can now plow into anybody I want to.
And I hope you wouldn't plow into people, but you can plow into buildings if you want.
Well, how about plowing into somebody who's backing into a parking space?
Yeah, you do have the insurance, so it would be
I have
covered.
Insurance now. What the hell? We paid for it. Might as well use it.
A Bam Margera thing back. They did a video. It was either CKY or CKY2K where they rented a car, got the insurance, just completely trashed it, and took it
and then
back.
brought it back.
Yes.
When here's your $25.
And the guy
sir.
just like the guy who owned the rental car store was just hands on his face.
Yeah. Well, we have it now. So if you are going to be in Peoria the next 2 days, if I were you, I would not back into a parking space.
Because Chris is just going to ram you.
I'm bashing into you, and I'm going to be laughing all the way.
And Trevor's saying, well, Lori drives it now, so that's okay. That's true. She drove you.
She drove today, yes, but that's true. Good point, Trevor. Trevor's paying attention today,
Trevor always pays attention.
Yeah, he's on top of it.
Number 4.
All right. So you may remember something called the Fail Mary from 2012 when
I vaguely remember the Fail Mary.
It was a Monday Night Football game between the Packers and the Seahawks. And there was a controversial play at the end of the game where no one really knew if it was an interception or a touchdown. The refs looked at each other. Each did the opposite signal. And
yes, this was the replacement referees.
Exactly.
Oh,
and so the NFL is preparing to hire replacement officials for the upcoming season if a new CBA with the NFL Referees Association isn't reached before the current one expires this May. This plan mirrors the 2012 lockout. They're seeking a list of about 150 small college officials by the end of the week for onboarding in April and clinic training in May, with summer training and camp visits to fall if a CBA is not finalized. My question for this is, the NFL cannot let this happen, right?
Right. I got to be honest with you. If I'm the officials, I'm holding out for $1 million raises because the NFL has to know that if they don't work something out and they try to go to replacement officials again, do you know that almost every telecast is going to start with a replay of that Fail Mary game?
Yeah.
That's all we're going to think about is these replacement officials. The league already has a credibility problem with the officiating, does it not?
Last year, everybody was commenting on everything.
Right. People think games are fixed. People think the Chiefs get the calls. People think this team gets the calls.
Don't even get me started on the Seahawks and that 2-point conversion.
And the 2-point conversion play against the Rams, which may have actually made the difference in who won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually make a fair complaint about that.
Yeah.
So officials already are in question. The NFL cannot give us a product where we have every right to believe the officials are incompetent.
That's true.
And that has nothing to do with let me tell you something. I'm judging from my own experience as a adjudicator of basketball games, Skraby.
Okay.
You learn a certain level, you get used to a certain level of play and the speed of the game and some of the leaping and jumping. I don't care how good you think you are. If they put me in an NBA game tomorrow,
I was going to say
there would be a bit of an adjustment period. I've never reffed that before.
And you're in a massive stadium. You got everybody looking at you.
Even if you're good at it, you've got to have some time to get used to it. So you're going to tell me now that you're going to take every little minor college official who works at Valparaiso and put them in the, the Lucas Oil Dome.
Yeah.
And say, hey, good luck today.
Week 1, NFL kickoff.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Referee, take it over.
It's going to be a nightmare. You can't do this. NFL, and please, NFL, don't tell me you don't have enough money.
They have plenty of money. Plenty of money.
So even if the officials are being a little bit outlandish, just say, look, we'll give you this, we won't give you that. But we think we hate the officials now. Wait till you see how much we hate them when these guys leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any way that the NFL goes into this season with replacement officials. And Dom said on the chat, it seems like the officials kind of have an upper hand after what happened last time. You can't be a serious league and have replacement officials. And you're right, Chris. Why are they taking small-time college referees? I know that these other referees, like in the SEC and stuff, they probably can't do it, but they can. They work on Saturdays. So
they want to take somebody who's refereeing a high school basketball game and put them on an NBA game.
That's the craziest thing to me.
Right. I believe I'm really good as an official, but there is no way I could walk onto the court and do an NBA game.
Can you imagine trying to call holding on Trent Williams and then him coming up to you and you have no idea if he actually held or not because you're so frazzled by everything? It's ridiculous.
I know one thing I would do if I was doing an NBA game. SGA would foul out the first 6 times he tries to take a shot.
They'd be like,
that's a push off. That's a push off. That's a push off, and that's a push off.
They'd be like, the replacement ref is really taking his job serious today.
He is single-handedly taking SGA out of the game.
What's his name? Chris Elo. Chris Elo.
Yeah. He must be related to Craig Elo, the old Cleveland Cavalier player.
Number 3.
All right, the 2026 NFL Draft is more than a month away. It's coming up, though, and 5 teams have accumulated two first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? 2 first-round picks. That's all I meant to say.
Yeah, 5 teams have more than one.
Yeah. Dolphins, Jets, Cowboys, Browns, and Chiefs. I know that you may say, Chris, I can't predict this, but which team will prove to have the best first-round picks out of the 5 teams?
Well, I can eliminate a couple.
The Dolphins?
Probably, but I'm going to eliminate the Jets first.
Good call.
I mean, the dummies that run the Jets, I mean, how can they get it right? Who are the other teams?
Cowboys, Browns. You can eliminate the Browns.
Yeah, Browns are out.
Cowboys you can kind of eliminate.
Cowboys have Jarrah.
It's going from Dolphins and Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs will get the best, and the Dolphins would be lucky to get second best.
Yeah, I kind of see it that way, too. And it does scare me that the Chiefs have 2 first-round picks this year. Really, they're going to be
just, and they've already picked. And they've already picked up, the running back.
Yep. Gosh,
of course,
why am I
escaping me now? I know there's so many quick moves. They change guys so quick. I forget. Oh, Kenneth Walker.
That's right. Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP. I mean, you got him. You always got Mahomes. You know the Chiefs are going to be back with a vengeance this year.
Yeah, I do know that.
And now they get 2 first-round picks. That could be bad news for everybody.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs take this one.
Number 2.
Didn't realize 4 of my topics were for NFL, but oh well. One Pro Football Hall of Famer and Pittsburgh Steelers legend is over Aaron Rodgers. Now, Rodgers has yet to announce a decision on his playing future, much less if he's actually going to be a Steeler. But Rod Woodson, an 11-time Pro Bowler who played 10 seasons with the Steelers, has had enough.
Boy, Rod.
On Rich Eisen, he said, quote, "Is he going to play? Listen, I get kind of tired of it. If he's going to play, say he's going to play. He's going to come back. And the team shouldn't wait for Aaron Rodgers. They need to move forward," end quote. So I'm up first. If you're the Steelers, would you put a deadline on Aaron Rodgers? I think you should, but you can't. Because then if he says, fine, I'm out, then you're stuck with like what's
left?
His name?
Mason
Rudolph, and then like Riley Leonard. I don't know if
it's not good.
So the question is, do they need to put a time limit on Aaron Rodgers? Answer's yes, but it's not going to work.
You know, the answer to your question is the same. You're right. They have to, but they can't. The bottom line is Aaron, here's one thing I don't like. And, there's a lot of things on that list.
Yes.
But here's one of them. I don't like people who, just because of the circumstance, have the upper hand and then take full advantage of it.
Will Howard is the other guy. Sorry.
Well, the other, maybe he could do something. But in this situation, Aaron Rodgers feels like he has the upper hand. Yes. He's going to make the call. He can decide. And so he's going to be as big a, beep, beep about it as he can. Because he is Aaron Rodgers, and he thinks he's all that. Wouldn't it, in a wonderful world, Skrabe, one that you and I dreamingly live in?
Sometimes we do.
Aaron Rodgers said, okay, I'm ready to make my decision. And the Steelers said, you know what? We already went with Will Howard. We don't care.
That would be
fun. Would be the greatest thing to just see that happen once.
Like Aaron
Rodgers, it won't happen.
He comes walking in. He's like, "I'm here and I'm ready to play.
I'm here and I'm ready."
And
like, guess what?
We got a guy.
Yeah, well, that was Mike Tomlin. He's not here anymore. It's the Mike McCarthy era, and I've had enough of the era, and I'm going with Will Howard, and I already decided.
All right. Yeah, I think.
But Aaron Rodgers, the bottom line, as you said, Aaron Rodgers knows he can hold them hostage, and he will.
He dictates the terms.
Number 1.
The Colts added an interesting player to their roster yesterday. The Colts announced they've signed an undrafted free agent, Carson Tout, former college basketball player, who has never played football in his entire life, never even put on a helmet. The team is hoping he's going to follow a similar path to veteran tight end Mo Alley Cox, who played at VCU before signing with Colts in 2017. Blah, 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 blah. They're trying to turn him into a tight end. Chris, are the Colts geniuses?
It's the last time they won more than 5 games. I think when Peyton Manning was there, he was a genius. The rest of them, I'm not so sure. I don't know that this is impossible to do. I mean, let's not be totally full of ourselves. Football isn't that difficult, especially to play tight end. You line up and run over here and catch.
There's so many things that you don't know. You don't know how to block. You don't know terminology. You don't know where your body's supposed to be positioned.
It's difficult, but I remember the famous kicker for the old Dolphins, Garo Yepremian, who was one of the first international kickers, coming in and saying, yes, I kick the touchdown. So, hey, he turned out to be okay back in the day. These guys can learn eventually.
Shout out to Gary Yepremian.
Garo,
sorry.
Not Gary. Gary.
All right. When we get back, happy hour, 97.3 The Fan. These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. Happy hour time here on Gwynn and Chris. Chrisello. Tony Gwynn Jr. idle today. Matt Skraby's in San Diego. All of us, all three of us, will be here in Peoria tomorrow at the Sports Complex. Broadcasting live. Padres will return from their day off. We will have a bunch of interviews on the program tomorrow. Don't be late. Get there right on time, 2 o'clock tomorrow for all of the fun and excitement. One quick note, Prairie View A&M ahead of Lehigh 37-33. Early second half. That is one of the play-in games tonight. In the NCAA March Madness later on, Miami of Ohio takes on SMU. And that'll be coming up a little later tonight. Skraby and I have exhausted a lot of the topics today, with all due respect to our ability as sports talk show hosts. Not a lot has really happened today, especially with the Padres off. Not any really news to report. We did get in not an argument, but a discussion earlier about whether or not Mark DeRosa should have gone to Mason Miller in a tie game in the 9th inning yesterday with a score tied, and he ended up bringing in Whitlock of Boston. And Whitlock's good, but he's not Mason Miller, And we got what happened. I think it was a walk, a stolen base, and next thing you know, Eugenio Suarez drops a double in there. Venezuela wins the game. And I said, how can you play a championship game and leave the best reliever in the world sitting in the bullpen when the team he plays for, the Padres, said before the game, it's okay if he pitches?
But you don't know
and
the
Skraby
terms.
said, Skraby said because the terms were that he could only pitch in a save situation. And I combat that by saying, once it's 2-2 in the 9th inning and you're the home team, which the United States was, there's not going to be a save situation. So that should have been ironed out beforehand so that Mark DeRosa and the U.S. knew they could either use or not use Mason Miller.
I agree
and I'm
with
making
that.
a big deal out of it because the one run decided it all.
It did.
So anyway, the United States did not lose because of Mark DeRosa, even though I'd like to think they did. The USA lost because they couldn't hit. You had one of the greatest lineups ever assembled, and they got 2 runs and 3 hits last night. They did not have a single at bat last night with a runner in scoring position. The greatest team in hitting history. Not one at bat.
That's crazy.
The only
they
2
made
runs
it to the final.
Yeah, the only runs they scored were two outs in the 8th inning, right? They got a single and then the Bryce Harper home run.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Judge struck out 3 times, looked like a rusty gate. I didn't even know if he looked like a rusty gate. I think he struck out looking twice. Anyway, USA disappoints. Venezuela, I said it earlier, so I'm going to just touch on it again because I don't want you don't turn here to listen to any politics stuff. I'm just saying I feel like that whole thing added a little bit to the drama for Venezuela to win. And that's all I want to say about it.
I definitely feel like the people of Venezuela wanted that more than
it meant a lot to them.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm always supportive of my own country, but I'm not myopic enough to not understand what winning that meant to those people.
Yeah, very true.
So, if you have a problem with me saying that, I can't help you. I can't help you.
I would like to talk about something that I'm seeing on the chat, but someone tweeted last night, now the USA knows what it's like to be a Padres fan because they put up a graphic that said it was like the 8th inning and it said, haven't had a base runner since the 4th yesterday or last game. And it did kind of feel Padres-esque a little bit, but that's all baseball. So now when we talk about, hey, the Padres can't hit, at some point this season, we say neither could Team USA. So it happens to everyone.
So you're trying to say that we should feel better as Padre fans that it happened to Team USA? Is that what you're getting at?
Yes, but like, I really truly believe that the players on the American side say that they loved it, but it wasn't like if they lost, which they did, it wasn't going to ruin them. But Venezuela winning that was everything to them. And I got to feel like the motivation was lacking on Team USA side. And Adam walked in here and we were talking, like, most of the guys on Team USA are making millions of dollars. You got Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Alex Bregman, Roman Anthony, Will Smith, Bryce Trang, Byron Buxton. Does it mean that much to them when they're the top of the top of the top of baseball?
Well, yeah, I think it's clear it didn't mean as much to them as it did to Venezuela, but I think it was because of the reasons we talked about, not the reasons that these guys just make a lot of money.
Okay.
Because if money's the only thing that motivates these guys, then pretty much all of them could quit.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Without ever competing or ever caring. And I would at least like to believe that they really cared and try to win and, win world championships, because honestly, I think at least somebody like an Aaron Judge understands it, and I'm sure many others do too. Nobody is remembered in the hallowed history of the game for how much money they made. But everybody's remembered in the hallowed history of the game for how much they accomplished. So I think most guys, the money is, hey, they're not going to give it back. But, somebody like a Manny Machado, somebody like a, Fernando, I believe, and Juan Soto and, Judge. And, you're talking about now Ohtani's in there with a couple of World Series titles, but he didn't have it before.
No.
And Mike Trout still doesn't have anything close to it, Nobody talks about Mike Trout. When you bring up the name Mike Trout, I bring up the name Mike Trout. What do we say? Great player. We don't say how much money he made.
No, it's
we
true.
say too bad he never got to a playoff game.
He got to one,
so
I think.
No, he got to one series and they didn't win a game.
Yeah.
So Mike Trout was in. Okay. Yeah, Mike Trout was in one series and they got swept. That's it for him. So, Dan Marino, nobody ever talked about how much money he made, and I'm sure he made a ton of it. But Dan Marino's always like, hey, he got the one Super Bowl, he lost, and that's it. Greatest quarterback or whatever, never to win. So I do. I think the money is obviously out there, and you're talking about it, but I think these guys are motivated by, greatness on the field. That's what sets them apart.
I definitely buy that for sure. For sure.
Okay.
I'm watching the replay of the game, and Aaron Judge, you're right. He's just throwing the bat out there.
He didn't look like they either that or they just scouted him. Whatever happened last night, other American League teams are going to try to do that too.
Although he just got rung up on a bad pitch. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, that's not going to happen anymore now, is it? Because we're getting into Major League Baseball again, and now every single pitch, even if it misses by that, nth of a whisker, is going to be overturned. So all you people who have to have everything right are going to be, you're going to be so happy. And it's funny though.
What?
And I'm right about this, Skraby. The people like me, like you, like everyone else that have complained about balls and strikes for all this time. When are they going to get, balls and strikes right? You know what's going to happen now that balls and strikes are regulated?
What?
Those people are going to find someone else to complain about.
Oh, that's very true. Obviously.
That is what we do.
That's what we do.
That is what we were born to do. I believe in this country, always have something to complain about.
It's very true. They're going to be like, well, that guy took off, I don't even know, but they're going to find some weird
They'll think of something.
Thing.
Darn right. They will. They'll think of something. If, and then the other people that sit back and enjoy the game, they'll sit back and enjoy the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they will.
But the ones that complain about balls and strikes and complain about announcers and complain because, the hot dog vendor standing in their way, you're never going to please them anyway.
I mean, if you're the hot dog vendor's in your way, just ask for a hot dog.
Yeah, get out of the way, will you, pal? Come on, I'm paying big money for these seats.
I was actually talking to someone recently, and I asked them for their favorite ballpark food, and I said, you got to get a hot dog, right? And they said, I've never had a hot dog at a baseball game. And that, to me, is, quite frankly, un-American.
trying to think of something that goes, similar to that.
Because hot dog and baseball is a thing.
I think you got to have a hot dog at a ball game. I think that should be something everybody should experience somewhere along the line.
I found this so weird. I'm like, you've never, and they go to a lot of baseball games. They're like, no, we're not going to get, I don't want it. That's so weird.
We got a couple minutes, and then we have two things coming up, so don't go anywhere. We have one, we're going to talk about Rory McIlroy's insane meal that he's going to have for the Masters next week. You are not going to believe it, but even Rory McIlroy is like, I'm kind of on his side for once and maybe only once.
Which is insane.
In this. And then the other one we're going to have is our SDFC thing, previewing the game tonight, coming up later at 8 o'clock against Toluca. We're going to have our Jake Zivin from the Apple TV Plus to talk about that. But I got a minute before that. How many young people, Skraby, where and what are the percentages? What do you think? How many people growing up in this generation, second or a little older generation, have and never will drive a stick shift car?
Oh, a lot. I definitely know I prefer stick shift.
I can't say I prefer it because sometimes I feel like just relaxing, but driving a stick shift is a lot of fun, and I think there's a whole mess of people that'll never know what we're talking about.
There's no need for it. Stick shifts are like non-existent in America.
I don't even think anyone makes them, do they? Make them somewhere.
I know in Europe they still do the stick shift thing, but if you're out there and you're a kid who's learning how to drive, ask your parents to teach you stick, because that will really impress everyone.
Yeah, but they have to have a stick shift to be able to teach you a stick shift.
Yeah, you're probably
There's just
right.
not many of them left.
I learned on this. I learned on a Jeep Wrangler, and it was tough. I got so freaked out in the middle of the intersection, I got out of the car and just left.
Okay, if you got out of the car, what do you think Lori did when I stalled the car for the 8th time?
Did she get out of the car?
No, but I wish I had been able to get out of the car.
That is, yes.
Suffice to say, she lost her patience with me. I always felt like a stick shift was a little bit of a rite of passage. You finally learned how to drive a stick, and off you could go.
I agree. Real quick,
it's one of the things I guess we'll have to miss.
Yes, real quick. Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. I'm broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Chris is in Arizona. Tomorrow, I will be in Arizona with Chris from spring training.
And Tony will be here.
And Tony, yes, he will.
And you'll all be here.
And Sammy Lev's probably going to be walking around there at some point.
But you know what? We'll all wish we were going to Rory McIlroy's Masters dinner next Tuesday night. We'll explain after traffic.
From the 855, get